Hey, all you crazy cats. Thanks for joining. Welcome to episode 102 of the Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast, right here on Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo.
You started off enthusiastic and then it dropped all the way down.
Everybody.
I got the cool cats out and then I wasn't excited.
That's okay. We're proud of you. Keep going. Keep going.
Well, we beam out nearly every day here on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network, so be sure to check out the full schedule of events right here on the YouTube channel or on reinventingthetattoo.com. If you haven't joined us before, Reinventing the Tattoo is a community for tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and all of those who are curious about the world of tattooing. We aim to educate and inspire one another to make better art and tattoos and to leave this community a better place than how we found it. So be sure to subscribe for more content that we've got going on. And before we start, just want to say thank you to our sponsors, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you to Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source with their acrylic-free inks. World Tattoo Events, which has the largest, most comprehensive list of tattoo conventions going on in the world right now. DLI's Pro, known as Dermalize Worldwide, protect your art. And as well as Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers, the leading edge in professional development and management softwares for tattooers of all levels. As well as real quick, just want to say thank you to the Fireside Tattoo Network and the Apprenticeship Diaries. And lastly, if you want to be a part of the network or sponsor us, be sure to send a message to management@reinventingthetattoo.com.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done. It's getting smoother and smoother every week. Next week, he's going to come in with a David Attenborough at us.
Hello. And thank you for joining us. Welcome to another episode of the Tattoo Collecting Podcast.
Are we turning into an ASMR?
I already
we can have a segment of it.
No, we can't. My life is strenuous enough. I don't need to be calm and not wait. I said that backwards. My life is calm enough. I need to come here and
no, it's strenuous.
Yeah,
you need to be calm.
It could be the right balance of both.
I just feel like I might sleep if that is the platform we decide to take.
What?
Yeah. I can't go that calm. I'm trying to stay awake.
Snoozing?
You guys put me out. And
did you do the right one?
I
don't know.
On Collecting.
I sent it to you.
101.
From Fawn Baker.
Fawn Baker.
Oh, I forgot you're logged into my account. Sorry. I'm going to the most recent message from Kyle.
God damn it, Kyle.
I'm not even sure.
It's okay.
There we go. This looks more correct.
As we're getting set up, finished here.
I only need this open if we're screen sharing, so I'm just getting it there ahead of time.
Yeah.
So this week, I think we're gonna have a relatively calm and predictable show.
So nice.
Yeah, I don't anticipate any visitors.
I gave out no links.
No link was handed out other than to you.
Well,
so unless you're signed in somewhere else for someone to join.
So if you're out there in listener land and you want to join us here on Tattoo Collecting 101, just leave a message.
Today, fellas.
Don't.
No, actually, when we were getting ready and like talking about today's topics, it's been a while since we've just had we've had
fucking chill night.
Well, we've had a special episode, or we were traveling, or we were just back from travel. I think this is going to be the first night where it's just like us chit chatting and kind of like, how's everybody this week? I think that's what today is. It's been a while. Todd's playing poker, so unfortunately, Todd won't be able to join us this week.
Play well,
but Todd will be joining us in spirit.
In spirit.
We've got this bubblegum jeter that was a gift of Todd for us, and I saved it for this week's show.
Aww.
How special.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah. So Todd will be here in spirit.
So, I mean, maybe we could use this time to talk a little bit about what's new and exciting and coming up for us. Because we've bounced around a bunch of up and coming.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that.
Let's hip the people to it.
Like all the things we're working on.
I mean, you can touch on it lightly and be vague.
I mean, mostly like what Kyle and I have been working on is like just some tech stuff we've both been experimenting with. I have been, so several months ago, I started making an intro for us, and I felt defeated by video editing software because me being me was like, I'm already familiar with Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. Like I'm
All one and
already
the
versed.
same.
It's a little bit intuitive. Like, I've had gaps of time and it takes me a minute to get back into the swing of it and get my workflow. So I'm like, I'm going to be able to figure out video editing. Not only that, like I figured out music mixing not too long ago. So like, we got this. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong, Ben.
It really is its whole.
Sure, it's its own thing,
Oh my
man.
I tried and like we talk about it all the time that I'm kind of like an analog brain. So like
In a digital world.
yeah, I try to like keep up and be able to speak technology, but it doesn't come naturally to me. Like if we're talking like a pencil and paper is my first language and technology is like my sixth. So like I speak it very broken.
I got sign language and pops and clicks before that coming at you. Well, and I often struggle with the technologies as well, but somehow have found myself being the tech guy at the past few jobs that I've had. And it's has absolutely zero to do with me knowing a goddamn thing about technology.
It's really just being able to Google it.
It's more about the willingness to take the
The bubble gum smells particularly nice. You want to stick that up your nose holes before I fire it up?
But I think it also has to do a lot with not being the oldest person on the staff. Not now I am by far the youngest person on the office staff. And yeah, it kind of sucks
It's an
because
interesting dynamic.
they're like, you've used this Google before, haven't you?
You know what the internet looks like.
It just makes me sad.
Do you know where to get this file folder from here?
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Wait,
What's a cursor?
hold on.
There's a mouse.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you know what I had to do the other day that I never thought in my life I would have to do? Explain that the server isn't their computer.
They didn't understand that it was a
So,
remote brain.
Like when you detach from it, all the information you put on it stays there. Well, what do you mean? Okay. So like imagine if like
It's like a library.
yeah, it's just holding stuff. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't automatically delete. It doesn't automatically file. It doesn't automatically put anything in any particular order. It puts it exactly where you told it to go. It stays exactly where you put it, and it doesn't just disappear. And it was a hard conversation for me because I'm just like, the brain over there. Because I don't know how to explain it. Any
I
different
mean,
than that.
that's kind of how you have to explain it.
That's how it broke down.
Yeah.
I want to share with you guys a conversation that I only heard one side of.
Those are my favorite.
So my brother-in-law, Chuck, was talking to his dad, Chuck Sr., and this has been a few years ago. And Chuck starts pacing through the house, and I see him just shaking his head, and he's like just getting like more and more frustrated. And like I start listening closer because I think something's wrong. Like he's more upset than he should be.
Yeah.
So as I start paying attention, I realize he's like, just put the cursor in the box at the top. And he pauses for a minute and he scratches his head. He's like, do you know what the mouse is? Okay, yes, the little arrow. No, not that. The arrow, like
the thing you actually move.
Okay, now take that and put it at the box at the top. No, everything else is going to be gray or blue, and there's going to be a box that's all white. It might already have words in it. It's going to start with like an HTTPS.
Slash.
Mind you, I only have one side of this. I'm only listening to one side. And he's like, no, that's your cursor. No, it needs to be in the top box. So this was him giving his father, who was in his 70s at the time, instructions on how to go to his email.
I have had to play that role before, helping my grandmother trying to figure out a computer.
It's so intuitive to us that like we don't think about how hard it would be. It's like, have you ever tried explaining what it would be like to tie your shoe, like how to tie your shoe to somebody who's never tied their shoe before, who like
Never seen a rope
who's never seen a shoe? Like how
Or a thought.
or a knot in general. And I look at my 4-year-old who is like, Dad, you just go to settings and turn the VPN on to this setting, and then you punch in these 13-digit code that I have memorized, and then you go to the backlog and you find this. And I'm just like, oh, little baby, little baby. That came from your mom's side because you know what the fuck you just said.
A VP, what?
I don't know that language.
She can reset her own tablet. She like does all like she's in the deep settings. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just fixing the picture.
Maybe we should have Lily do our video editing.
Ooh, little baby tech.
Be like, hey, can you make us look like this, and this, like at the beginning of a cartoon? I bet she could. I bet she'd be like,
Okay.
duh, all you do is this.
Yeah.
And then this wave goes over here. You drop this effect, boom. And we'll be like,
Thanks, little baby.
mind blown. So long story short, I've taken a stab at learning video editing again.
It all comes full circle. There's always a reason.
That's what we do, man.
Yeah.
Money trails.
This time I didn't start with templates. Last time I like looked around and tried to find the easiest templates to like learn from and then springboard off of. I watched some tutorials. Like I really put a lot of brain energy into this, and everything I put together looked worse than I put together in 8th grade synergistics with the 2 VHSs and the whole another machine that layer for the like words, and then it looks like 1992.
I miss 92. You know why? I understood 92.
It was a good year.
It was. Yeah.
These were still analog.
Fucking
We had answering machines.
Yesterday.
I remember I still had an answering machine all the way up to 2002. My grandmother lived with us when we were in high school until she passed, and she passed away at the beginning of my senior year. And what my parents didn't know is that I knew how to run phone wire. So I pulled the wire from her bedroom back down and put a new head on it and ran a phone line that was her line into my room. So I had to set up an answering machine for when I wasn't there, so the line wouldn't ring, so they would hear, you know what I mean? Because
You thought this out.
back in the day, you couldn't turn the ringer off on the phone. So like,
Do you remember what it was like back in the day when we couldn't have like private text conversations? Like if you had to have a conversation,
What is
anybody
private?
who was in the house heard everything that you said.
what is private? There was zero privacy when I was a kid.
Remember when there was one phone and it was like stuck to the
Attached to the
kitchen
wall.
wall?
And you had to sit
It
in
was
the
like
kitchen.
stuck between the kitchen and living room. And if you're lucky, there was like a hole through the wall.
And
So
you-
like you could project into both rooms at the same time.
You had all the dumb codes. Like, I would like to go get a cheeseburger. No, a cheese, not a hamburger. I said a cheeseburger. And
I
then
said a double quarter pound.
double. Yes.
No, hold the mayo.
I like mayo though. I just don't have the extra fucking money.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Tech.
Junior
Tech.
bacon cheese.
You know what? Scratch it. Never mind. Let's just start it.
Just meet me at the park and bring a fucking 50 cent. Oh, the good old days.
There we go.
Yeah. I hear youths now complain about their parents like, oh, you went through my phone. What? I wasn't allowed to have a phone.
Privacy really is a modern invention.
It really, really is.
Mhm.
My parents would straight search your shit. Like, hey, you were gone too long. Your room door was just here.
Kyle and I keep pressing the same buttons at the same time. All right. I'm not
guys got-
touching
you guys
I
anything.
got
turned it off.
We got
You
it.
turned
It's
on.
technology demons. It's like this dangerous game of like
Well, what's weird is they don't loop out.
Little tango.
So
Yeah.
most of the time when we get the feedback looping, it doesn't broadcast that way.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
does.
it just
A
depends
lot
on
of
where
times
it's
it doesn't.
feeding back.
Yeah, and it's weird. So I try in the beginning to ignore it, to act like it's not happening. And every time it catches me up, I'm like, my brain starts to do that delay, repeat. Like,
Here's a funny thing that happens if you wear the wireless, like even the really good wireless, there's just like a minuscule delay just because the information doesn't transfer as quickly. So there's just a minuscule delay. So if I have a headset on while I've got a wireless on, I feel like I'm listening to myself drunk talk because like the words that are coming back to me are like a split second after they're leaving my mouth. So it's like a little.
Did you ever play in band?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So what instrument did you play?
All of the brass.
All of the brass. Did you march at all?
Yes, that's when I had to use the stupid mellophone. I hated that thing.
Mellophones.
Why wouldn't they let me march with a French horn?
Probably
because it's like a $4,000 instrument and I was accident prone and I could have fallen upon it.
They project the wrong way.
So
no, you're facing this way. Your horn's pushing back. Everybody else's horn's face forward.
You're supposed to bring it up and out.
Malarkey. You're not walking like this. You can't,
I would have.
You can't get the right embouchure. You'd be just blowing it into your head. Anyway, so if you ever had the wonderful experience of playing in a concrete stadium,
I got a story for you. Continue.
Did that ever happen?
Better.
So like we had never done it until we went to state one year. Yeah, competition marching band. That's right. And we're doing like takeoffs to do our walkthrough to get on the field. And I played the walk. Tack, tack, tack. That was my job. And it was dot tick 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 dot tick 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 dot tick 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 dot tick 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 dot tick 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 dot, because every time it would hit this wall, it'd bounce off this wall, and then it'd bounce off this wall, and then it'd hit the wall behind us. And I'm like, fuck. It's literally
trying to use your own heartbeat as a metronome, but you're like, oh, I have an A rhythm, apparently.
It's literally my job to keep everybody in time, right? The entire show. Like, that's my job. It's the only job. Center snare.
Ben's like, it's jazz today, baby.
Y'all motherfuckers better learn to shuffle step, because that
be Russian or Dragon.
It was rough. It was fine once there was a conductor, because then you could blind everything out and go off timing of memory of, but like walking out, there's no conductor. It's just me and my onesie. Tink, tink, tink. I've never counted so hard in my life. 1, 2, 4, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'll never, like, that was the most nerve-wracking experience of my entire life. Ever. I'll never admit that to anybody else.
So in Grand Rapids, the high school I went to was near Grand Rapids. So like when we did like big parades and stuff, we'd participate in some of the stuff that was going on in Grand Rapids, and the parade route would like it'd turn, I don't know all the names of the roads anymore, but it'd come down Fulton at an area where there's like a real steep hill and there's just concrete buildings and like overpasses and like so when you're in that corridor of glass and steel and concrete, fortunately, our high school had a really cool cadence. I hope they still use it. I don't know if they do. But like the quads and the bass drums in unison would be like doom 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 doom. So like when you've got this melody that is the heartbeat of the band, like they would get so carried away. It was great. And then when you had all of that like reverb from all of those directions, where it wasn't just the beat, but it was this melody that the drums were bouncing back and forth. It was pretty cool.
Yes.
It was neat. Yes. I wasn't a drummer, but I was like, that's my band. While I'm walking around being an idiot with the horn I didn't want to play.
So that's
chewing on pink starburst.
That's why I didn't march brass.
And the chapped lips.
No, I just didn't.
The worst.
I didn't want to carry a fucking instrument. So I ended up playing snare drum. I was like, well, that really straps to me. But like, our school was so small that if you were like, hey, I want to try this crazy fucking thing, they'd be like, yeah, sure, there's one in the closet. Go grab it. Like, it's yours now. Merry Christmas. Have fucking fun. Be the best or not at all. Okay, bye. But
words to live by.
You could do anything. And it was kind of a privilege we all really took for granted.
like all of us, every single fucking person that I was in there with took for granted. Even the band nerds, the ones that loved it and are band directors to this day, didn't understand how special that shit
I
really
remember
was.
when little 5th grade Fawn was like, I want to be in band, Mom. And my mom, being my mom, was like, okay, I played a snare drum. What instrument do you want to play? And I was like, I want to play the French horn. And she was like, you have got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So as it turns out,
Did you
in my
have to play
school
E flat
district,
or F?
I could play both, but usually F.
I couldn't switch the key signatures.
They put me on so
Fuck
many
me.
different horns that I was constantly changing key
Yeah.
signature.
I taught 5th and 7th grade brass, except for F. I only taught E flat.
Yeah, it was the most expensive option I could have chose. So my mom was like, well, we'll see.
My brother played French horn.
And then they were like, well, you got to play trumpet first. My mom was like, what, $600? Way better than 3,000. And this was back in like 94, 95, 96, maybe. So like, as I got older and I still wanted to play French horn, in 6th grade, they went ahead and started teaching me. And then by like 7th and 8th grade, I was teaching other people. And I started researching, like, if I were to get my own French horn instead of these school ones, what would I want? And I started like jumping down the rabbit hole, and it was like, oh, we've got really nice new Yamahas, and like the old Con double horn is a really nice old Con. So maybe I should just be content that we have some kind of crazy grant that pays for this stuff and just use it.
My brother chose the French horn. As what's the most expensive one? They won't buy it. My parents were like,
Bet we can rent that motherfucker.
and they did. But we were forced that shit, like young, forced it. Like I started playing in 4th grade. Like it was dumb. It was nothing. I mean, again, because you're forced, you took it for granted. You didn't really soak it in. You were mad that you had to practice. But if it's one thing as a youth, I wish I would have taken a lot more seriously.
I look back now and I see a lot of the like formative things that were done for me as I was like a little kid and growing up. I'm really fortunate, like that I was like, not only it's fantastic. I was not only encouraged to be creative, but like I was also like given the tools without even realizing I was being given the tools. As a small kid, my mom went out of her way to get me like pop-up books and like beautifully illustrated books. Like it wasn't just the Velveteen Rabbit. It was like the super elaborate, like 300-page version that every single page was beautifully illustrated. You know what I mean? Like everything was just visually a little bit extra,
Right.
you know? And like, you know, my mom's always prided herself and my stepdad always prided themselves on like listening to good music and having
Right.
eclectic taste. So like we grew up listening to all kinds of music. I didn't have, I don't know if you want to call it a privilege or burden of growing up in the church and like being
Same.
forced to play music, but I was definitely encouraged both like my artistic creativity, my physical creativity, as well as like music stuff. But like, what if I would have grown up with somebody who didn't like just like, oh, you like coloring? I should make sure you have all the colors.
Right.
Oh, you like this? I should make sure you have this. Like, you know, I can complain about some of the things that happened in my life with my parents and this, that, and the other, but like, I was really fortunate that like early on up, I was given the creative tools, and those were just like,
We could do anything if
encouraged.
it had something to do with Jesus. If you could put a Jesus spin on it, buddy, we're going to Cancun. Like you
Christ wants me to witness.
we
Load it up.
Yes, sir.
Witness. Let me tell you.
Who'd you witness to, Ben?
Personally,
Yeah.
no one. Bet I went to Florida though. No,
You're like, I'll tell you what I witnessed.
no, we were offered a lot of opportunities being involved in a community like that. Because same, I grew up super fucking religious. My dad's a deacon, or was until he was in his 70s. My mom worked at a church for 14 years. But what that did was it gave us a once a week production that we all took for granted. I learned how to do soundboards
Mhm.
when I was 10, 12 years old. I learned any instrument in a live setting that I wanted to possibly learn is there and available. to
It is
learn.
pretty crazy. It doesn't
Oh.
matter what instrument is around. Like
Oh yeah.
if Ben picks it up,
Throw
like
that
he'll
in.
start playing a song that sounds like the song he's playing.
God.
It's, I mean, I'm not saying you like bust it down, you shred it. Like that's, I don't want to oversell, but
Yeah.
it is impressive to just be able to pick up anything and play a little bit of something. Like if you can pick up anything and hold your own around a campfire, my
We're
hat's off
jamming.
to you.
Yeah, we're jamming. It's like,
The ability to think on the fly and improvise with it too. That's like
Well, and sometimes people
big
get like
struggle
just
point.
choke up when other people are watching. Like
Yeah.
some people
Yeah.
are amazing guitarists, and then it's like, well, play us something. They're like, I don't remember any
I don't
songs
play.
right
What?
now.
No.
mhm. But yeah, it's really weird the things that and the network that you were put into in that mindset. I would start a church right now if we could take the religious implications out of it. You guys just want to get together once a week,
That's
right?
what this kind of is for us.
Well, yeah, we get
Church.
together.
With the-
There, man. I had a whole build
This is
up.
like our tabernacle.
Well, think about it. All churches is getting together with like-minded people and sharing experiences and quality, right? Like, so our job together is to enhance each other's lives and take care of
Then
each other.
I lift your name on high.
Exactly. You can praise me all day. I want to bounce that shit right back. So it's more about just staying committed to your community and staying committed to your tribe.
Mhm.
Like, and if we could do that and just all just be cool and not have to be scared of anything, or there'd be these really weird rules about how you should be, I'd be hard.
Hold on a second. Oh, wait a second. So you're telling me you would be hard in if it was like a club that was actually like fully inclusive and not non-judgmental
Yeah.
and like-minded people?
Yeah.
I think that's this.
So,
Are you sure?
I think that's this.
can we please?
We've got the holy smoke right here.
Can we
Not
please?
even a joke.
Can
It was
we
funny, though.
please get a tax fucking deduction? Let me write off this shirt in the name of whatever we're calling this,
Does that so I can write I can do tax write-offs for my rent since I moved out here to do this?
bruh.
Shit.
Bruh.
I
How
don't
do
know
you
how
get
I'm gonna-
paid tattoo collecting? How the fuck?
We should
do
ask
that?
Derb. Derb
Because-
is ordained.
I know it's not difficult. You can get ordained in a lot of different stuff in about a 45-minute period on the
What?
internet.
Yeah.
But my thing is if I create my own religion, right? Because who's to tell me what I believe is incorrect? And in the world of free speech and freedom of religion and freedom of thought, I should be able to worship and pray to anything I want, right?
But when do you become considered a cult?
I think when people die.
So up
Skirt that.
until that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. There really isn't a difference between the two.
There's not. That's baby's mama. I've had the want and desire to buy a church forever.
A church or an old schoolhouse would be pretty awesome.
I want a church.
A lot of land that comes with
I
that.
just want to reclaim that shit. That's really all it is.
You just tear it down.
Like, I don't care what denomination. Y'all stole a bunch of shit. Like a bunch of shit. You took over towns. You took over people. You usually like exported. You killed things. You
Hold
just
on.
wiped
Wait,
out.
are we talking about the Crusades?
I mean, you call it whatever the fuck you want, but like, you know,
That's just one part of it. man.
all
Oh,
of-
that's just
all
one
of
part?
Yeah, that's just one part.
One-
all of
yeah,
time, there's
tiny
been
part.
more wars created in the name of God than
Little
anything
sliver.
else, right? I don't care which one. Just
I'm
name of
fighting in the
God.
name of Yahweh.
Yahweh. See, still a God.
You know what I love is
Case in point.
I love when like I'm arguing with somebody and like they'll be making their point and I'll be like, you understand that that is the word for God in their language, right? Like it's not a different like you understand that's a language barrier, not even like praying to a different entity, right? No, okay, lost ya. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Continue.
My bad. I didn't realize we couldn't have this conversation.
So hear me out. These three wise men.
Christ, amigos,
Heart.
How many did you say?
Three
What?
the Herald.
wise men.
They're
Not
not why?
It's UFO. Let's follow.
Here's my gig. Right. I think Noah was the original.
What if the moon was actually the ark?
So hear me out.
What if we-
hear me out. Hear me
No,
out, hear me out.
okay.
If you
Just follow your rabbit hole first.
if you read the book of Enoch, right?
Mhm.
The book they took out of the Bible,
Mhm.
it talks about
They didn't take books out of the Bible.
oh
Nothing
sweetie.
can be added or taken from
Oh
this.
sweetie.
Nothing can be added
Then
to
why
or
are there
taken from.
versions?
Except for the addition.
I mean, I did see the Dead
Then
Sea
why-
Scrolls with my own eyeballs,
So
like
why
with
are-
my own eyes.
this is out. Why are there versions?
Well, so that's another funny story. So King James, James,
He was like, you
His
know what? I
special
don't like
friend.
any of that.
was just special. King James's special friend was a very special friend.
Very.
And the Catholic Church did not like that King James had a special friend of this nature.
And what do you say? Fuck you.
So
I'm the
King
king.
James was like, watch this. So he commissioned Shakespeare and some other dude to translate the Bible into what would be easier for people to digest and read and memorize. If you notice, a lot of it's in iambic pentameter, not by accident.
Oh,
So
do
this
we go
made
deep on that, or we
No,
just
well,
gonna let
I'm
that
just
one
saying
fly? That fly?
we're just gonna let it fly.
Okay.
That's
So
Google
so-
it.
Research it on your own time.
101 bitches, teach yourself.
So
That's
the
102.
church was like, oh, if you're gonna do all that and make it easier for people to memorize this good word, turn a blind eye to your special friend and put your name on this book for history.
And now everything's like fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
like,
You kind of skipped over the point of where he took everything out.
I'm just saying nothing
It's
it
implied.
says nothing can be added or taken from, but like there's all of this evidence that much was added and much was taken from and much was deliberately translated for different purposes.
I'm pretty sure the original goal is for it to adapt with the times, so that way people just live a good life and not
You know,
go
hear me out,
overboard
hear me
per
out,
se.
Hear me out. Like I get what you said,
Right.
but without fear, there is no following. Without no following, there is no manipulation, right? So if you can't
Fair.
have an overarching bad guy in the fucking sky, because he's not bad, he's good, he fucking loves you, right?
I thought the bad guys were down the road.
he loves
Well,
you,
no,
but
no, no,
only
no,
if you
no.
don't have tattoos, Ben.
Yeah, well, that's actually wrong. There is nowhere in the Bible that says you
Hold
can't
on,
have
while we're talking
tattoos.
about this, let's go down this rabbit hole.
Do you want to?
Yeah, what's the Bible tell us about tattoos, Ben?
I can't. I don't remember the exact verse, but it's in Timothy, and it talks about
Good
how
old
you're not
Timothy.
supposed to mark yourself with the marks of the dead.
Why not though, Ben?
Well, because back in the day, what they did was they took bodies and they burnt them.
So, and when you take a body and you burn it, what does it turn into? Charcoal?
Charcoal.
Okay.
And you know how people are like, put my homie's ashes in that. Okay. Well, back in the day, fire wasn't as hot as it is now, and it's not necessarily processed as far, and the bacteria isn't always as deteriorated.
Mhm.
And I don't know all the right words. I'm not a fucking scientist, but that shit stayed alive, right?
So
Little
you're telling me
bacteria
there was still
that they were putting into something
still
to
microbes.
put into people's bodies, right? And it
still
was making people
pathogens.
really fucking sick.
There were
and
pathogens
they were-
in said charcoal.
they were dying. So the rule was you should stop doing that because you're dying from it. Not, hey, it's bad to mark your body. But
how were those pathogens distributed?
uh you're,
Interdermally? I don't know.
Through the blood,
puncture.
maybe?
So like if you're putting dead people's, grossness in your blood stream. I'm not an expert. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm just,
That doesn't sound very healthy.
It's funny,
not.
like
just like don't eat fish on Fridays.
I knew
Was
you
it-
were gonna jump into this next.
Why?
It's just
It's just a natural.
yeah, it's a
fact.
natural
The
progression.
progression.
Don't eat fish on Fridays has nothing to do with fish is gonna like be cursed from Satan. It's because it was bad in the marketplace by Friday. But Friday is really just a made up day that wasn't a day when they were doing calendars back then, right? So like the whole fucking system's changed. So like Friday is just arbitrary. Right? Do you really think we're still on the same 7 days a week track that they were in? What 80?
Well, and the other
I don't
thing
remember
is-
numbers. So
We have like refrigeration.
right, so like
Now-
the fish in the market was bad to buy on Friday. So it was kind of like, hey, if you don't want to be sick, don't eat the fish
on this
That's
day.
bad.
Yeah, well, because they process different things on different days.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know. But that's what I've heard. Again, I'm not an expert.
Sound
If
like
anybody would like to call and discuss this matter, I'd be more than willing to put you on speakerphone.
We're gonna have somebody with us next week, and they're gonna be like, and actually, Second Timothy says.
Second.
so. I heard we talk about the Bible here.
You notice I Googled nothing and I'm doing all this from the hip. I ain't come prepared for this conversation.
And look,
My
if you
facts
learned
might
it
not
wrong,
be-
well,
They're not
That's-
always up to date.
I'm just saying.
it's from an older version.
I don't know which version you're reading. But still, my whole point is things change, people change, and fucking quit being just
Ben, you
yeah.
got tattooed recently.
Did I?
You did.
I did. Was that Monday?
Hot diggity.
This was.
Hot dog, hot dog, hot dig.
Speaking of marking one's body.
Did we put any dead things in it?
No,
Fuck, we are fucking up. fool.
no, it was like some raw things, some Starbright things.
It's a natural thing. It's
No death.
this is what I know.
No death.
Do you have a picture of said markings?
Homie said marking to the gram.
Yes, let's pull it up.
Please.
So I'm gonna send
not
A-Raj's
sick,
stuff too.
It is a little vulnerable.
It's a unique spot.
Yes. But when you don't have a lot of spots left, that's where it
My
goes.
goodness, this is
Gone.
no.
Okay. I just dumped some in there.
Oh.
I got
Multiple
Ben and A-Raj. A-Raj, if we really wanted to push it, we probably could have finished his piece, but we've got so much time in it. We don't want to rush it.
I don't like rushing any form of tattoo. Like, let's kick it. If we tattoo for an hour and that's what we do, cool.
Mhm.
If you're done after 7, I am too. You know, like you want to stop at 3?
We got some
'Cause
really good progress, Ben. I
we
laid
did.
out like a whole new area. Yeah.
I'm just not very.
I didn't realize how much we had already accomplished on this leg because my mind only sees like what we have left to go.
You can't crop my ass out of this, Dick.
Hey,
It's part of the body, bro.
those are the good undies.
Those are the good undies. Y'all are
Those are
like,
the undies.
those are my special tattoo underwear. Yeah, that's my leg. That's what Fawn drew on it. That's what she had already tattooed on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the stuff she plans to touch.
Yep.
Sneak peek, bitches.
Sorry, the Jeter got me.
Yeah, it's been getting me. You don't have to apologize. I've almost died 13 times over. I've almost passed out
13.
twice.
Oh, look at that.
I'm just riding. Just riding the train.
Maybe it'd be better to show this one off.
Yeah, this is now
yeah.
the work we got accomplished. So I did not get the trees in there, but they will. They'll be there.
You're there.
Oh, that's just marker. Like, I mean, I guess there's like the middle stick of the tree is there, but that's it. But yeah, I feel like we made some super good progress.
I'm pumped in progress.
And then each one of these like platonic solids has a different like symbolism. So the icosahedron that's going to be in Ben's knee ditch
Yeah.
represents water. So that's why the waterfalls are all kind of convergent and kind of wrap around it. This dodecahedron represents like the aether and kind of like everything that connects us, all of the in between and, like the energy field, basically. What was it? The tetrahedron over on the other side with the fire that obviously represents fire. So, as we creep across to Ben's other leg, this is gonna like go from like the purple mountains into like a more like rich green. And then as we transition onto the other leg, it'll be a much more realistic nature scene. So it'll be like almost if you could imagine like in the never ending story as the nothing is coming through and breaking things apart. It's almost like that kind of thing is happening, but like it all revolves around the little guy daydreaming in the hammock. Like it's all just like floating away into oblivion. But the other side of Ben is going to be very realistic nature scene that is transitioning into this crazy daydream is what I'm envisioning. He could put the brakes
Me
on the idea
too.
tomorrow, but that's
Breaks.
what I'm
I
working
don't
towards.
break. You know, my favorite thing is letting an artist be an artist. I already know too much. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I take it all back.
I'm not doing any of that.
I'm not doing any.
No,
of
I
those
love all
things.
the words you use, and we've talked about this vision all the way through more than once, but like, I thoroughly enjoy being like, hey, artist, you do this thing. Here's kind of what I want. You do you, bro. Because
That's usually the best way to go about it.
I don't ask my mechanic to make me dinner. You know what I mean?
I mean, is he a good cook though?
He probably is.
He's a good cook. Yes, I bet he's got, you know what I bet? I bet he's got the bacon wrapped asparagus down pat.
you know,
Sounds
he's not
good.
waiting for bacon to be done. He ate that shit before it hit the pan.
That's why you got to have 2 batches.
2 batches. You know, Fawn.
That's the cooking
That
bacon.
is,
I'm gonna.
It's the same like when I make seafood and stuff. You got to have like, you know, the shrimp cocktail to eat
Mhm.
while you're waiting for the rest of the shrimpies to cook. We smoked him.
cheaty down.
Nicely done, fellas.
Salute.
Thanks,
So,
Todd.
Todd, I know you're not with us, but you're always with us in spirit.
We miss
And
you.
I just want to say thank you for providing us with this evening's smokables. I am now thoroughly baked and appreciate it.
Thanks, homie.
So, what's going on?
Getting tattooed, hanging out with you. That's
I
pretty
like
much
it. I like it.
Day jobs.
We've been on the go for so long.
It's nice to chill for a second.
Yeah. I mean, we've been back from Hell City for a while, but I feel like since we've all gotten back from Hell City, we've all been just like busy catching back up with life and getting back into our swings. And like, I've just had a lot going on and like
My-
just life.
My life is a continual tornado. Like my personal life is
It's a terrific
It's
tornado.
like a shit show. It always has been. But like, yeah. So I just look forward to sitting down and talking once a week and not having to think about all that shit. So like, yay. No, Phoenix was a blast, but you're right.
I feel like ever since we got back,
Everybody's had just so much shit stacked up.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Not necessarily bad. It's just been like things are coming fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I like it's isn't it October?
Almost.
Like, no, it's fucking October.
Well, it's like 10 days. 8
It's
days.
fall. People are putting like their pumpkins
I put
out.
on 2 long sleeve shirts today.
We do,
Oh,
we do have
man.
gourds in the office.
I
now.
was just considering
So-
how much more laundry I'm going to have to do in a couple months. Because like during the summer, like I'll wear a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and done out the door. Most of the time I don't even wear socks.
32 garments in
Yeah,
one load.
winter time, once
Yep.
it drops past like 60 degrees,
6 loads.
I'm going to have like jeans, leggings
Mhm.
under the jeans.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to have at least 2 pair of socks because why not? And then I'm going to have like
That's right.
I'm gonna have like a long sleeve t-shirt on and another t-shirt and then like another long sleeve t-shirt with a hood and then like a hoodie over top of the long sleeve t-shirt with the hood and then like a hat.
And then like a hat.
So that's a lot of laundry.
It sounds like you just need a good jacket.
I have that too. Those need washed as well, Kyle.
Fucking logical. Oh fuck.
Welcome to Ohio. This is coming from the guy
Hey,
from
I have-
California. That frigid cold to the bone that lasts like 4 days in a row. You want to prevent that. You don't want to recover from it.
It was 50 something this morning. It was 80 something this afternoon. It's gonna be 50 something on the way home. How the fuck do you prepare for that? Okay. I've got my detachable pants that turn into shorts. I've got a shirt over top of a tank top over under a hoodie. Because it's like the motorcycle game right now is confusing as shit. It's just you got a lot of extra stuff with you all the time. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold? Are you going to freeze to death on your ride home?
Find out at 9.
So if you have a bagger, which you do, get yourself one of those super fancy, like electric heated suits that you can plug into the little AC.
Okay, first of all,
You think my bike's got electric?
Well, not the black one.
Well, no, yeah, the black one doesn't have a speedometer.
So it's like, thank you, lot.
I love it.
Aesthetically.
But my police bike is it runs great. As far as accoutrements, it's a mess because it's got like all the extra police stuff wiring. And when they were like, "Do you want a stereo?" to whomever owned this before me, he was like, "Yeah, sure." They fucked a bunch of shit. So like it turn signals and lights and all that work, but hi buddy. But outside of that, there's no frills.
No frills.
There's no frills. I took it in for a back tire because it popped while I was at work. And now the guy was like, "Hey, did you know that your back shocks have no air in them?"
You're like, "Oh, I've been low riding this whole time and didn't even know
probably
it."
should fix that. So yeah, like tip top shape's not my thing. We just throttle and rattle. It's a good time.
Well, we just had a wizard walk through
I
the
love-
room.
I
That's
love
why we're all distracted.
People are like, "What do we do? Do we walk? Do we be quiet? Do we
Adam's in the
ignore
building.
him? Do we talk to him?
If you
Do we
shut
not
that light
talk
off,
to him?"
there's actually always like a perfect reflection of the sky and tree line and everything. It's a pretty cool like lens effect that happens.
So for those of you that can't see what the fuck is going on, Adam just walked through and there's a hole in the door projecting a light
It's the peephole.
through the middle of the room, and it's like a little ball of energy.
There's a good
It's
light ray
pretty
going
cool.
Mhm.
But it's hard to pull people into a conversation about this. I think.
Well,
So A-Rod's also got tattooed?
yeah,
Show that shit. Talk
Kyle.
about that shit.
get on it.
The
Yeah,
fuck, Kyle?
it's literally ready to go. I don't know.
Ready to go.
What do you mean? Get on it. It's
Boom.
already here, bro.
Swell bow, son.
It's been here.
Ouch.
Yeah, this has come a long way. We got like
Well, that's why I would have stopped
these open
too.
spaces are going to be moss that's like reflecting the blue from that earth.
Mhm.
And this again is more platonic solids. So that would also obviously be the shape that represents earth.
Elbow.
I love this kind of stuff. We got
You
some
should.
crazy glass art going on up at the top. We got this crazy tree wrapping around everywhere. I don't know. If this is all that I tattooed, I'd be a happy camper. I don't know. I like doing other things, but man, this kind of stuff is fun. Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome, Fawn.
I like doing it.
I
I want to do more of
like
it.
letting you do it. It's amazing.
I don't know what you call it. Like it's kind of bio, but it's kind of
Sacred
Trippy.
bio.
Do you know what I
sacred
call it?
bio, maybe? No,
Fawn.
trippy bio.
I'm just like, it's fun. That's all.
Hio bio.
Bio, baby.
The Ohio
Can you
bio.
fucking like trademark that? My words just left. Like, can you trade a higher bio?
Oh man. Oh, that would cause such a fight.
Why?
Oh.
Why? I'll fight him.
Oh, there's already somebody else like unrelated to the Ohio Bio show that thinks they came up with the term Ohio Bio. And if I tried
Oh,
to coin
okay.
the term Ohio Bio, it might start a war.
So
That's not
here's-
gonna go well.
I forgot about all those things even existing and just thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think it is cool. I think it has a great ring to it.
When was the last Ohio Bio show?
I don't know. We should
Strongly encouraged.
strongly encourage another Ohio Bio show. But like at the same time I'm saying that, it really takes a lot of time and coordination to put an art show together. And
It can be a 5-year plan.
okay, a 5-year plan.
Not everything has to be stressful.
It's not a race.
No.
It's not a race.
People that want it to happen will make it happen. You just
It would
gotta-
be great. It was really
Take
nice
that
having
extra
like,
year or two to make it a little better.
well, it was crazy how
love
many
that.
different artists traveled from all over the place to just hang out together. It's not often that we get that many, like, I mean, we have, yes, like-minded artists that are creative together very often. We have art nights. We're pretty lucky to have that. But when you've got artists that like are like-minded to this degree, that we're all working in this special specific niche. Bish, 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 bish. Why we smoked the
fish,
whole
fish, fish.
Jeter
I
XL.
got it bad. I just thought it was great.
Bish, 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 bish. Today's the swishy episode.
Swishtacular.
Swish.
Because it is such a specialized thing, and that category is so broad too. Like people assume it's all just hooks and dark portals, and it's not.
That's
Like,
one
it's
tiny little corner of one
little
tiny little corner.
branch of what bio can be.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I enjoy the offshoots because I like seeing where people's brains go.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do? Anything. What'd you come up with? This.
It is kind of cool to be able to make that happen. I was just thinking about a situation earlier, and some artists, like you have a consultation with them and they'll take your idea, they'll consider it, they take time to like put the design together, and some artists, it's just there.
Right.
And I feel like I'm really blessed to be one of those artists that, like, as I talk to you, like, as soon as the image is there, it's there. Like, that's the thing, and that's the thing that's going to exist. Like, give me a minute to mock it up and put it together. But like, I think some people need to like let ideas ripen and like let them grow, and it's just kind of nice to be able to just envision
See,
it,
I am
and there it
the
is.
Opposite. If you were like, you could even give me something specific. How would you paint this mountain? And I would be like, mountain. What's a mountain even fucking look like?
We're like, right now you're just talking about a mountain, and I'm specifically picturing
Right,
one with
as-
like
as
this
me, I'm
purple
like,
shadows
well,
coming
I'd
down
start
one
with the
side, and
peak.
the green's
There-
here, and
There'd be at least one peak. So
but what color is the sky?
oh,
what time of
goddamn,
day is
this
it?
sky
Is
day?
it clear
Wait,
sky?
there's what?
Is there
Sunset.
water?
Oh, too much.
Is there a reflecting
This is
pool?
why I don't
Are we
know.
talking about pine trees or deciduous trees?
I can't do it. See, my brain already shut off.
Yeah, I got a
Oh.
whole picture already.
Peak.
Just you say draw a mountain, and I'm like, I got the whole landscape. Like, which one of the mountains do you want me to draw?
I can't.
Do you want the
I got-
mountain that's got some dying trees, or do you want the mountain that's snowing at sunset?
Neither.
I kind of would like the
neither.
mountain right on the continental divide. One side snowy, the other side desert.
I
Big.
got stuck at
Maybe there's a
sharp-
little volcano in the very far back on the third plane.
I got stuck at sharp and pencil fine paper.
Ken's like, I got distracted looking for paper, and once I found it, I forgot what it was for and rolled it up. Focus.
I just rolled up the pencil.
I love that 40 press. It's the best paper.
40 press.
I don't know what it's called.
What a nerd.
What's the thick for watercolor shit?
Arches?
Yeah,
I like the arches.
it's good stuff.
Cotton.
I bought a big sheet of that at one point and sat around my house forever. And ever. Whatever.
You know what? I used to buy big sheets of it and tear it and cut it down because like it's expensive. So you want to like get the biggest sheet and get the most bang for your buck and yada yada. But I started getting the watercolor boards where they're like sealed on the edges. I usually don't work in watercolor on them. I prefer to work in charcoal, but now I've got this perfect paper. It's not going to shift on me or anything. And like, I just like using arches for charcoal. It's just magic. It's a magic combination. Yeah. If you like a textural ground that's going to like just
Hold.
yeah, it's gonna like grab that charcoal and hold on to it, as opposed to like a smooth ground where you're gonna build it gradually.
I prefer Crayola.
It's okay.
And it's
At least you're a Crayola snob. I've taught you well.
yeah.
You better not have any praying in that crayon box.
No.
You ever try to use a purple praying?
No.
Pink every time.
No. It's not.
Every
There's not-
time.
there's not any
The colored
crayons.
pencils.
Color art. It's not even real. It's not even a thing. It's not even wax. What the fuck is that? I wouldn't even light that on fire as an emergency. Like,
Oh, that's
what are we doing here? No. Crayola only. I've got an extra
Crayola
dollar.
only.
I want to be balling, but I can go the extra $1 on the box of crayons.
The
Like,
one extra $1.
I'll throw it on the crayons. Don't worry.
Good.
But yeah, like I prefer my pictures already be drawn when I color them.
It's okay.
I don't want to be that part either.
Then color by number, Thomas.
So I tried to do a paint by number one time. Bro, I
It
couldn't
takes
do
a
it.
lot of focus to
I
really
couldn't do
see what each and every little chunk and bite is. But once you get going, like basically,
I did
either s-
I did a whole paint night. Whole paint night. I was here at the beginning. I only took like one break. I made a strong, like, I'm gonna fucking paint this
Mhm.
effort. I didn't get like a quarter of the way through it. Like I was like mad. But I still have it, but I was like, fuck, man.
Let's bust them out together sometime. Like next time I'm over hanging out, instead of building a tower, Lily can color, we'll paint by number, and then we'll go through and we'll do the darkest darks first and then just work our way up from there. I want to reveal some tricks to you.
I want to learn.
Yeah, I'll reveal some tricks to
I want
you.
to learn tricks.
Yeah.
Um,
Not only is it going to be a color by number, but you're going to
Can
learn
we?
how to paint with this color by number.
Can we paint snails?
Absolutely. I bet we can
I'll
find a
start
snail that's like
working
close up
on
and textural that's all
my-
color by
my
number.
proportions of things. I gotta get the snail down.
I got bait
It's coming. We're building a waiting list.
for snails.
Snail tattoos.
How many people are on this list?
I'm not telling. It's
We-
exclusive.
We've been talking about it for a few episodes now.
It's happening. Just practicing. Quiet in the background. Drawing swirlies.
Maybe I could teach you how to do some little snailies.
I started with swirlies. That's what we're doing.
So first, we're going to have to teach you how to draw a shell.
That's what I'm trying to do now. Learning. I can't with you. My brain ain't going.
He's making eye
Someone's
contact.
watching. You now.
Two more.
Do more. Do that. Do more of that.
Next week, we'll have some creepy Adam France footage for you. I'll zoom in real close on like his nostril and then share it with you guys. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Snails.
Snails. Indeed.
Now, I do need to know, Ben, when
Yes.
we're talking about these snails, what
Uh-huh.
what style do you plan on working in at first? Because I know you're gonna like
Simple as fuck.
minimalist.
Oh, well, I want there to be enough contrast to where it looks like a snail.
Let me ask you this:
But like, if we get out more than 3 colors,
if you get to the
I'm
point that
probably
you
gonna
can
be pissed.
do like hyper realism snails,
Never.
it'll happen.
It's
No.
basically a paint by numbers.
What if could I get like a tiny little escargot? Just a little lemon and spices.
A little
A
salt.
little escargot. You know, I like food tattoos. I don't really
Fun.
even have. I
Fun.
got a pizza Steve and a
Fun.
bacon, but I don't. What if I had an escargot?
Fun.
It's part of that.
Let's
version.
get past draw a snail. Okay. If we can do
Oh,
that,
but don't you know that if you can just print a
How about-
stencil off, you can do it.
how about we start with slugs?
It's that easy,
We
right?
could just skip the whole
But
Yeah.
it's that easy, right?
It
Like you
is,
just
yeah.
print the stencil off and you can do any tattoo,
Is
right?
Yeah.
Is that how it works? The stencil makes
yeah.
the tattoo for you?
And it's done in
teaches
like
you-
an hour, dude.
Like teaches you application
Yeah.
and like how to stretch the skin and how much ink to put in the well, the needle, and like all that?
I you just
It's
need a
all-
stencil.
Or do you
All that part that
when
you
do
trim
put
off,
in
dude.
You just
Vaseline?
need a Google and a stencil.
Which direction do you shave the person?
You need a Google and a stencil.
What if there
Who
is
said
like
we're
a
shaving
pass out
people, dude?
situation?
A Google and a stencil.
Okay, so what if your client actually goes into an epileptic seizure and you
Google and a stencil.
oh my god, what happens if you drop your razor? You accidentally slice their like ankle open?
Stencil.
Okay.
Well, actually, there's medical supplies for that. So I think you're assuming you know first aid.
Mm,
Not without a
Yeah.
proper certificate.
Okay.
And I mean,
Google and a
Then
stencil.
Google and a stencil will help you get that bandage on. What don't you understand? It's so simple.
sounds like a bad plan.
I think
For
we're
those
on
who
to
didn't
something.
know, that was
Okay, for-
sarcasm.
I used to remove tattoos. It was a lot of fun. Okay, let me tell you, because you got to hear the story of why these people got this like shit bag tattoo that they want off their
Mhm.
body. Because half the process was vetting people, which
Mhm.
sucked because you didn't get paid for that part. But like you got to hear some really cool, like, oh, I got this, like it was in another state at a party. I was in the back seat of this Camaro, and this guy was like, we're doing face tattoos.
Hold on. What year was the Camaro?
Well, if it had a full bench seat in the back, it had to be after the 78s, right? Because that's when they stopped doing the 2 buckets. Because they took the transmission and they raised the whole frame, right?
My mom's Camaro was a 92. And
You
I
are ready for
am-
a real answer.
I think the seat sat low. Like I remember the transmission being like right next to my legs, but I think the seat was flat across in the back.
So 92.
But also you could lay the seat down flat because like my sisters and I would.
How do you think we're
lay.
tattooing backs?
Fair, that drop down seat. Louvers
sir.
to let the light in at just the right angle. We missed our mark. We should have been like backseat tattooers back in 1992.
We
That
can
sounds
bring it
so
back.
hookerish.
Like, there's no way to propose that correctly. So, do you want to get in the back seats of this Camaro?
Well, so that's why you have a
Let me
sign
tattoo
on
Hold
the
on. I'm
car.
imagining the hatch open. First of all.
Oh, we're parked?
We're parked. So now we're like with donuts and figure eights while the tattoo's going on.
This has gone horribly awry. We are no longer allowed to smoke jeeters on the air. Okay, guys?
No, but now this just became a new bit that we can film.
No. Okay. No.
It's starting to feel like a little bit of Ricky Bobby to me.
Bring it back.
I like things that go fast.
Selling the windshield. Sponsored by Bounty.
It's situation.
It'll be like if we're gonna degrade, we're gonna be in the hatchback of a Dodge Daytona.
Okay. So immediately after high school, I purchased a hatchback, a 2002 Hyundai Accent. It to this day is the most fun I have ever had on four wheels. It was a little teeny tiny four banger piece of shit. But I drove it like it was a go-kart from the moment I bought it. Like I squealed the tires and I think I hit the e-brake and slid it leaving the goddamn parking lot from the dealership. And I drove that car like that from then on. I was sold. I broke the cable in it for the emergency brake. Yeah, so it was so much fun.
So you've met Siobhan. Siobhan's been on the show. We watched a previous.
You ain't
previous
nuts, you ain't
episodes.
much.
Yep, that's Siobhan.
Look,
So she had like gold, bronzy colored 89 Volkswagen Jetta. That was her first car, four-door, not the hatchback. That thing was our go-kart.
Yeah.
More hers than mine. I was usually like, no, don't do that. That was my role. And like sometimes she would listen, sometimes she wouldn't. And when she wouldn't, I'd be the one that would be like, I'd get out of the car and I'd pull the random part out of the ditch. And it is amazing, Ben, how many parts can come off of an 89
Oh,
Jetta.
you put that bitch right back on.
No, she'd hide them from her dad. So there ended up being
How do you hide parts from somebody?
there was a pine tree line in their house and the neighbors. So these trees were a little overgrown and she just kept like hiding the parts under there. So finally the neighbor goes and takes the branches like 3 feet up and he's like, hey, Chuck, so he's like, hey, Siobhan, what happened here? And she's like,
Somebody tried to steal them. I'm so glad we caught them.
but you can take so many parts off of an 89 Jetta and it's still
Just
an
right.
89 Jetta.
Okay.
Yeah. She called that thing Milady. Because you can imagine an 89 Jetta on a cold Michigan morn, what it might sound like. And she was like, it's like a big lady in stretch pants. Everybody's got to look. So that was our go-kart car. It was bad. I don't know how we lived through some of it. There was this housing development between her house and our school, which was like in the middle of nowhere. It was one of those housing developments where they're like, this is going to be a gated community once it's full, and we're not going to build any homes that are less than $500,000. So needless to say, it's been like 90% empty since it was built. Now like maybe 85% empty. So that means there's a lot of really rad like loop-de-doos and like weird shamrock shapes and like, you know, where they're going to be beautiful homes one day. But right now it's our Kingston Estates NASCAR track.
Yeah.
And they're like, you pull like
name drop.
yeah, you pull onto it off of a paved road, and then all of the other roads off of it are just gravel dirt roads. So like, skirt.
Okay. when I got my license, my dad had a Miata.
I drive a Miata so hard.
I drove the balls.
You
off
know
that.
how I feel about two-seaters.
I would buy a Miata right now. Right now. Somebody was like, hey, I've got, I'd be like, and how much do you need for that? I would make that happen.
There's that smart car that's been for sale
I know at the
between
lot.
my
I
house
know
and
the
yours.
blue one.
It's a convertible. That's the only reason I haven't stopped and checked on it yet. But I'm about ready to be like, hey,
What do you need? It's been sitting there for. Do you want to
I
split
already
it?
have another one of these for spare parts.
Do you want to just split it?
Split the smart car?
Yeah, like legit.
Skirt.
Legit.
I mean, okay, if I get another smart car,
They're
I'm
gonna be, what,
definitely
$5,000?
doing the computer swap out. Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah. You want-
$600 for the computer swap out, and then we can really rally car it because that'll, cancel out some of the safety
I don't need to do
features.
any of the things that you just said, but I will split a smart car with you right now. Like, if you want to mod it out, I will entertain that later. But like, extra
Downside, it only takes premium.
its
Upside,
fucking tank is
I
like
can drive
2
from here
gallons.
to Atlanta and back. Well, here to Atlanta, drive around for a week and back on $100.
So, like I'm saying,
Gas has gone up 110.
I'm saying,
Let's do it.
okay.
But you know what we really need? If we're gonna get a smart car, we need to get 2 smart cars, and we can drive together. And I'll put a left on mine, and you can put a right on yours, and they can be like little roller skates. Is that doing too much?
First of all, no,
That's
it is never
No.
doing. But that defeats the purpose of splitting one, and we're just both gonna get fucking smart cars.
It's like we can skirt together. We can go out in the country. We can whip them in the winter.
Fun. I'm one person. I already own 4 vehicles.
So what's it this?
It's 4.5 if you split it with somebody.
I
the
forget
half
about your
is-
motorcycles. Motorcycles, okay,
You know how much my insurance is right now? You know how much my insurance is?
probably through the roof because motorcycles.
It's dumb.
Yeah,
Actually, I was like,
Oh, the bikes don't cost
Ben,
anything. Just
now that you bring up insurance, I got to tell you what happened today.
what'd you do?
I'm gonna lose it when I'm telling you because every time I tell it, I laugh even harder at myself.
It's gotten funnier.
I'm gonna dad you so many. So my
yeah.
hands are already on.
This is gonna be one of your prouder moments. So you know how when you're coming from 23 and you got to get on 270 to get on 71, there's a little jig jog, and like when it's even remotely close to rush hour, there's just lines of traffic, and you've got the 2 that come together as one, and inevitably somebody wants that to be 2 lanes, even though it's not, and traffic is a gridlock, and there's nowhere for them to go anyways. So red BMW tries getting around me. Well, me and all the other large vehicles in front of me have already like moved over. So we are officially 1 lane. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it is 1 lane. It's
Yep.
not 2 lanes. It's 1 lane and a shoulder.
Yep.
So anyways, his car's trying to get around me. He comes up on the left. I don't let him get in front of me. So he comes up on the right and he comes up on the left, and I'm not letting him over. So I like inch in front of him and he zips back past me. Mind you, we're only 1 lane, and I'm the car he's trying to pass to get like, I thought maybe he was trying to go the other way.
Fawn drives a humongous van.
Yeah, it's a full-size van. Like people don't usually push a full-size van around. And this guy in his red Mercedes was between 10 and 15 years old. It wasn't a new one.
Oh, he didn't care. He was ready to
It
wreck.
was nice. Well, I had my windows down. I was minding my own business. I'm eating a banana.
Did you Mario Kart this motherfucker? Tell me you're a banana peel. Tell me you're a banana peel at this tripod.
I can't say it. Okay.
Not on purpose.
So he comes up past me and he's cussing and he's already flipping me off. And he comes up like to where I can hear him, and I hear him call me a hillbilly. Of all the things he could call me, like that's not the right one. But anyways, I'm like,
Doesn't even.
Use the right word.
like mid bite of my banana. And And without even thinking, I like toss it. And I was just gonna like splatter it off the side of his window. I was not aiming for him. I was just
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
right through the sunroof, hit him in the face. All the while, he's still raging out. Everybody around us is still being normal. So now he's raging even more. And he's trying to get in front of me even more. And we're still in that like quarter-mile stretch where it's one lane where we're trying to get on 71. Gridlock. There's nowhere for him to go, but he's weaseled himself in this little box where he doesn't belong, and he can't do anything but like rage at me. So
The universe took its course.
Sir.
I was not planning on hitting him. I told you you'd be proud. Don't hit a stranger with a banana.
Don't throw that banana. Fuck that cocksucker. No one throws bananas anymore. Chuck that motherfucking banana out the window. If it's not gonna kill somebody, do it. Fuck them. They're being dicks.
Continues. So he's still raging behind me. He's still trying to like get around me to the point where like, okay, now he can't get around me. So he's just weaving back and forth behind me. And I'm like minding my own business. I'm keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't pull a gun on me or anything. But anyways, so we finally get onto the on-ramp of 71, and I thought he was going to zip right around me. He doesn't right away. So we get to where it's like open road, and then he comes up to my right, and then he goes to my left, and then he comes up onto my right again. Like he's deliberately like messing with me. Like, so, and then he throws his coffee at the side of the van. Not the first time I've had coffee down the side of my van. Big deal. So he takes off flying, and like by this time I'm like, really? I don't know. Maybe I was just gonna throw the rest of my coffee on him. I don't know what I was gonna do. I don't know what the plan was, but he's flying, and my van has a governor on it that I discovered like when you've got it buried past 100, that it tells you to slow down a little bit. And so as I'm still on his tail, he is like, he's here and a cop is coming onto the highway here. So he hits his brakes, he slows way down, and then he gets behind that cop and just parks. And I go past him and I'm just like waving. He stays behind the cop all the way. Like, I don't know, maybe it was a stolen car. I don't know. Maybe he thought the cop already clocked him. I don't know. I was just like, you're in a red car. I'm in a big van. Like, I'm not the one getting pulled over. So then I get off at 5th to come to the shop, and sure enough, like I sit through 2 lights and he comes up behind me way after that. Got you far, didn't it?
Yeah.
Got you far.
Yeah.
But I was actually kind of worried that when he came up on 5th, I was like, oh great, here we go.
That's
But
when
he
you-
didn't. He
that's
just
when you
kept
just
going.
take the long lap to get here. And if he follows you down through the long lap, you don't want nothing but trouble.
I mean,
And then you just stop.
but then I can't believe it happened. Like I said, this was not something I thought about. This was just one of
This
those,
just
like,
happened.
he was just rude. So I was just gonna like toss my banana peel like at his window. I was not, in no way was I trying to hit this man. Like I was just trying to be like, oh, cuss me out, go wash your car. I was not trying to hit a stranger with a banana peel, but he deserved it.
In no way,
Universe
shape,
made
or
it
form
happen.
does Reinventing the Tattoo accept and authenticate the actions of Fawn Baker.
It was some craziest road rage
I'm
situation
very,
I've
very
ever had.
happy that you threw a banana peel at somebody.
But like,
I just,
why do people
you
have to
know,
drive like that?
Where
Where was
think
he
they're
gonna go?
important.
Where was he gonna go? Traffic was gridlocked.
No.
do you know where he went?
I just want to know, like,
he
how
got
is
a-
he
he got a-
retelling this
he got
story?
a
Okay,
banana in
imagine
the
this.
face.
So you're driving 110 and all of a sudden a sheriff is right next to you and you hit your brakes. Imagine how he went from like raging out, ready to kill the person behind him to, oh my God. And like, he was probably like white knuckled, like heart racing, like sweating because he was angry, now sweating because he was nervous, wondering if this cop clocked him. Like, that's what him gets. But I wonder how he's retelling the story to everybody. Like, I wonder what expletives he's using to describe me.
Mr.
I
BMW.
was minding my own business, and this woman, for no reason, threw a banana peel at my face.
I was just trying to drive, but she just fucking.
I've never had somebody like come around me like that before. Like deliberately antagonizing. Like I've had road rage moments where people were rude and I didn't let them push me around, but I've never had somebody
let your foot off the gas.
Well, here's what I was screaming at him while he's cussing me out because his windows are down and my windows are down and my temper is funny. Like after the fact, when I freak out, it's funny. Do you want to hear what I was yelling at him?
Non-driver?
I wasn't yelling non-driver, but
way.
I think Ralphie May would be just as proud of this because like, as I'm looking at him, like I'm leaning out the window and I'm seeing how close he is to hitting me and how, like, if he hits me, like everybody behind me has seen his behavior. So like in this moment, I'm like, I've got great insurance, do it. So I start screaming at him. I'm like, buy me a new van. You really want to buy me a new van? So he's going down the highway screaming with his window down, throwing coffee at the side of me. And I'm like, go ahead, buy me a new van. Like,
That's amazing.
that was my anger and rage. It was so like specific, but yet non-specific at the same time.
I have a hero.
Mind you, he was a middle-aged guy in a red sports car.
And a 10-year-old sports car.
15.
10 to 15. I'm just going by the
Enjoy
body
the
styling.
late model cars. But
It wasn't the car's fault that it was driven by.
it's the
this guy.
douche behind.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say douche on air?
Yeah, we can say douche on
Can we
air.
smoke a blunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I get you worked up with that story?
No, but you made me laugh.
Man,
That's-
I can't believe, like, I don't know how I get myself into these things. I don't know how I
I
reacted
know
like
exactly
that
how you
either.
get yourself
I
into
don't
these
know
things.
how I even reacted like that. That's not my
Because
first
you're-
impulse
You're
is to
not a
like
pushover.
throw a banana at a stranger.
But that's really all it is there's two kinds of people in the world. People that take shit and people that don't. And it's like you can allow anybody to treat you anyway. And there's just sometimes you're like, fuck you. I'm not getting treated like that because you feel you're better than me. I don't know you, random guy in 15-year-old sports guy.
Watch him be like the dad of a listener, and they're gonna go home and be like, listen to this.
Oh, I would strongly encourage you to call in, please.
Please come on next week. Defend yourself on air.
I would love to hear how you got smacked in the fucking face with a banana peel.
Should have seen this shock though. It was like,
Did he see you throw it? Or did you like overhand it over the
Ben, it was just a bloop. It was not an aimed, deliberate nothing. My van just
toss it over the
it was just a
through the
bloop.
window?
I mean, my van sits high though, so it was bloop.
It just rained on him.
Fine. You threw a fucking banana peel and hit somebody in the face.
What if it was anybody else that he had this confrontation?
Well, hold on.
with?
Was there still banana in there, or was it just the
like a bite left?
better that it's the end? It's just that like that nice squishy little nub at the end of the banana.
And there was no thought to it whatsoever. And you guys know that manners are so incredibly important to me that it's almost like it wasn't even
When you were
me.
telling us, I was like, wait, what?
I don't know how it happened. It was just in the wrong place at the right time. I don't know. Like, what if it was somebody else? It was like, oh, you're going to do this to me. And they would have pulled a gun out. Like me throwing a banana at this guy's face might have saved his life. I didn't throw it at his face.
Might have
though.
saved your life.
It was
too,
just a
Punk.
toss. It
Might have
was
saved
just a
your life
toss.
too. What if he was like,
I was gonna pull my gun, but this bitch got by more bananas. She is clearly a good shot. And if I get one stuck,
Telling you, I don't know where it came from, and Universe was totally behind it because, like, no way would I ever, like, I don't know. I'm in shock about how it all went down, but like,
I don't know if proud's the right word, but it's proud. It's 100% proud.
yeah, I thought you'd like that story.
Aww.
Craziest-
Fantastic.
Craziest road rage ever.
No.
I mean, for me,
Funded
my
what to the
craziest
stranger on the
road
highway.
rage.
Oh.
She hit who with a what?
But
She hit the stranger in the face with a banana. It
Did
sounds so
Fawn
low.
commit assault?
I used to keep a couple pennies in my car.
It was a fruiting. It was a drive-by.
It was a drive-by.
I will give a nickel to the first person that messages in and tells us what movie that's from.
Yeah,
Message.
yeah, dude, look like a lady.
Give it away, man.
That's not a giveaway. Kyle still doesn't know. He doesn't
Give
know.
all the hints in the world, and I won't know. 13.
I think that is the only movie that I've ever seen somebody pelted with a kiwi, though.
Did you know that particular film has a rating or has a version in every rating? And they only released one.
What do you mean, like the parental ratings? Oh, I bet the uncles are
There's a G version.
fabulous.
There's a PG-13 version. Or there's a G, there's a PG, there's a PG-13, R, and NC-17 version.
That's crazy to me.
I want.
Can I see them?
No, they were just like recorded in it. Okay, so since no one's gonna call in and we're not that cool, we're talking about Mrs. Doubtfire, but Robin Williams was
Amber in the chat said Miss Doubtfire.
Good job,
Nice.
Amber. You get a nickel. But like he did most of that so off the cuff that
Like James Brontosaurus.
right.
He was
I'm a
filthy.
raptor.
You remember his comedy, his stand-up, the HBO stand-up? Oh man. I can't believe my mom let me watch that. Like, yes, a
Moving on.
lot of that stuff was over my head, but
Robin Williams live on Broadway.
that's the one.
Do you mean the greatest piece of film ever created? I got a soft spot for Robin. He's
Oh, I do too.
He is one of my I have never in my life been affected by a celebrity's death except for his.
That's fair.
Ever. I normally give two shits and a fuck. And I remember
He's
being
somebody that like
like, oh my God.
kids our age grew up with. Like, we're old enough to barely remember Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, see, I didn't
Barely. You remember that?
I don't.
I
I
do.
wasn't allowed to watch things because
That's
it didn't
true.
have Jesus in it. So like and aliens, I mean, aliens could be another god, so we can't even begin that. But I have recently been like, I want to go back and watch old Ryan Williams and just like re-step through his career.
You know,
'Cause
there
there's
there
so
are
much
some.
material.
What's the one? What Dreams May Come? Do you remember that one?
The serious one?
It might be. I watched it when I was young, but I think if I watched it now, I would probably take a lot more from it.
His favorite roles are not his comedy roles. Like Dead Poet Society,
Mm,
Good Will Hunting,
Mm.
like two movies you could put on at any moment, at
Flubber.
any time. And I He's Veteran. But like, yeah, he's my guy. Yep.
I could get down with some Robin Williams all the
Anytime.
time.
Anytime.
Like, he was great with the serious roles. He was great with comedy roles.
I mean, live on Broadway bits were a staple for forever growing. Like we still tell Robin Williams jokes 18 fucking times. Like it's built in. I love that game.
Recently,
Robin,
recently I watched Hook.
I love Hook.
So stinking good. I
Love
loved
Hook.
that when I was a kid, but I think like with an adult understanding, I almost love it even more.
Well,
Especially when you hear like the mirror side of the story, where like Peter Pan was taking children away, as in taking them to heaven, and Hook was always trying to stop him. So like the mirror of it is Captain Hook was actually,
the good guy.
yeah. So it's, as an adult, you can understand the dichotomy of that situation. Like whose point of view are we understanding? But then you've got all the Lost Boys, and each one of them is just awesome. Bangarang Rufio,
Hang around. Peter
the
Pan's
food
always
fight scene.
always one of those weird stories too. That there's so many.
Kyle's
different...
like, I don't know this movie. You really don't? You
I
never watched Hook?
Pack your shit and
I'm
go.
telling Jess, you guys got to
right
watch
now.
Hook while you're packing orders tomorrow.
No, just leave. Like right now.
Okay.
Get in your car and go watch Hook.
I mean,
Did you watch the last movie I told you to watch? What was it, Kyle? What was the name of the fucking movie?
I
Fire!
don't.
Yes, there is the show.
Don't give him the cold shoulder.
It's not cold.
He
It's
doesn't
warm.
know better.
It's still warm.
He's touching you.
Um,
Whoa. It's getting serious around here.
Or we could just have a group movie night next to. Okay. Okay. Good.
That's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
House and watch a movie or two.
We don't even have a giant couch and a huge TV. Right? You can't say.
I mean, we don't have a TV right here. It's okay. We could just hang out here.
Turn the table the other way, put the camera up
Well,
there.
not the background
No.
right now. No, we probably can see me
Okay.
for playing Disney.
Oh, I didn't know we were gonna do
I said
Disney
hook
movie
on
night.
the background.
Oh,
right
look,
now.
right now. Okay.
And I was like, no way.
Maybe like a small 15-second snip we could get away with, but that's probably about it.
Or on a different platform.
There's actually this tattoo I have started it's on my cousin, so I know I'll finish it eventually, but it is Captain Hook's ship floating through, and then the whole landscape is Neverland,
Right.
and she's got a portal. Sorry, I slobbered. Then she coffee, it's delicious.
Yep.
And it's got like a triangular portal. It's like a Rick and Morty portal, but it's triangular, and then there is a character from a movie that's after my time, like Atlantis or something like that, coming through the portal. But anyways, this conversation put me in mind of that piece.
Yeah.
Chelsea, hit me up. Let's get that finished.
Get on your tats. Do you have any unfinished tattoos?
I do.
What is it?
I have a piece by AJ McMillan that I got started years ago, like probably over 10 years ago, that's still incomplete.
So,
And now that I know he works at Evolve, I need to just schedule some time with him and get it finished. But it's Michelangelo's Pietà.
if you were not Fawn Baker and random collector, what would be the appropriate way to hit up an artist that you may have lost contact with or haven't talked to in 10 fucking years and need your tattoo finished and don't want to be rude, or what's the right way to approach that situation?
Here, when I officially get in touch with AJ and I'm ready to schedule it and go through the pain and all the things, I will probably be like, hey AJ, it's Fawn. I hope all is well. I still have this incomplete tattoo and I would love for it to be completed, maybe freshen it up, modernize it, make it look like your current work. Because it's more like a realistic black and gray, and the stuff he does now. I mean, even the stuff he did then was much more like kind of like traditional outline, very clean, very crisp, very bold, and then very smooth technical shading. So it was very, very good. But at the time he was like, I don't do a lot of realism, but let's do it. So I would love for him to finish it. And if we ended up changing it a little bit, that'd be cool. Now I've got so many tattoos all the way around it that, it's kind of, it doesn't even really look incomplete if you didn't know, but it needs a little more love still.
So basically you're saying allow the artist enough freedom to make decisions on how he wants to proceed with the tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I trusted him to do it the first time and he's only gotten, 10 years better. Why wouldn't I trust like his new ideas with it?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle said it makes sense.
What about you, Ben? Do you have any incomplete tattoos right now? Other than obviously the one we're working on?
Well, I mean, it's not really incomplete. It's an ongoing.
That's in progress.
It's an ongoing project.
But have you gotten everything else buttoned up?
Yeah, the only other tattoo I had that was incomplete was the one we did on air with Denny.
Nice.
And again, that'd been open for 5 or 6 years. And Denny's fan, and it was just a matter of being like, "Hey, let's plan the time to do it." So yeah, I'm pretty buttoned up.
Kyle's got a sleeve in progress. We've been giving him a hard time about it.
For as much as people like looking at it and admire it, it is still a little underdone.
The lower part's really
The lower
far
part's pretty
along.
much there. It's like up here and like towards the armpit is where it gets a little spotchy.
Spotch.
It's just a little more to go. It's looking so good though.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at it earlier today because I don't usually take a moment to actually look at it.
Oh, you should. I sit like when I wear shorts and I can see my tattoos, I sit and look at them all the time. I sit and consider my hand all the time. Like I really sit and look at like these areas where it's like the palm of the hand, where the skin's a little different texture. Like I really observe my own tattoos. I feel like I've learned a lot about how tattoos heal and how they hold up by like really watching close up and like being realistic about it as I watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I do look at my previous photos often enough, especially with the show and things like this, that I can see what my hand looked like the day it was done versus the week after it was done versus years following. And there's just a lot I can learn about, you know, what works well where on my own body. So I don't know. It's like having this done made the way that I do hand tattoos a little bit different, because I actually have this firsthand, like what's going to hold where, you know, where, you know, this, for instance, this like fades off gradually, but at the same time, even where it fades off, I can see the spots where it does and doesn't hold. Like we knew it was going to lighten there, and you know, that was kind of done deliberately, but I can get in there and really see what the ink is doing. And I don't know where we were going with that.
Looking at your own tattoos.
I always catch myself being like, blank spot. Okay, we're planning for that blank spot. Fucking blank spot. Skin looks all weird.
Armpit.
Skin.
Just being plain skin without colors.
Plans.
We're trying to figure out like what would be a good overly scientific name for a tattooer, like a professional name, like implant, a pigmentation implant, dermal
Abrasion pigment implantation specialist.
dermal. I don't know. There's got to be some crazy technician, dermal implant. I don't know.
Dermal pigment implanter.
Dermal pigmentation. I don't know. They're just like overly complicated job
try coming out with what's a good
Bro.
acronym. What's a good acronym you can make out of it?
Tatty bro.
TB isn't a good acronym.
Are you
But
kidding
okay,
me?
bro.
Tuberculosis. I'm just gonna let it down like that.
Do you want Tatty Bro to be associated with tuberculosis?
No.
Okay.
But it could stand for like technical application
Technical
through time.
So
Your body only
Yeah.
you.
No, please keep going.
Oh, no, I won't. I never will. It's a joke.
Only on accident.
No, it's a joke. You say stuff like that. It's mean and spirited.
like my brother-in-law does water wells. He's like groundwater delivery technician, groundwater, ground aquatic, geological aquatic,
What's the technical
water.
term for an intern? An intern?
The intern.
You added the
The
science.
the intern. What's your pronouns? The intern.
Bye.
What do you prefer to be called?
The intern.
Intern. Wow.
I don't have a box for that.
Other.
Other.
I always check other just to fuck with them.
Fuck you. Dance around it. I want to see you squirm.
I'm not surprised by that.
I just love making people uncomfortable.
I've got one friend. He's like a family friend. He's like my parents' age. He is covered in tattoos, literally from head to toe. I've tattooed his face. I haven't done a lot of face tattoos, but when somebody's like, up with this stuff that I'm not happy with, yeah, I'll help you out. So, anyways, tattooed his whole face, not a little. But when he like
Not a little, like his whole
like
face.
the whole thing.
his whole face.
It's
So
all gone.
I'm just gonna say that casually, the whole face.
Yeah.
But when he like has those forms that he has to fill out and you have to like check your ethnicity, he always checks other and puts plaid as his ethnicity.
That's great.
Yeah, he's covered
I like that.
literally from head to toe in tattoos and
I have to go before I claim plaid.
claim plaid. I don't
Skin
know if it's the
pictures.
right.
I think you're
What
close enough.
ethnicity are you? Skin.
Skin pictures. Something doesn't sound right about that.
That's why I liked it, Kyle.
Okay, sure. That's-
This guy. This is rain in my brain.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep you here. I'm trying to keep your head.
My brain.
You got too much encouragement for the show.
Well,
Oh, don't worry. I remember. I've always got you in the back of my mind. Don't worry.
sounds gross. Why in your brain?
That's why I like it.
That's why. That's
Oh, I'm starting to get a little worried about our chemistry here.
It's a weird triangle.
It is.
It's a little misshapen.
well, we stop this conversation right now. We change to something different. We're not talking about this in any kind of triangle. There's no shape or form triangle.
Triangle on your leg.
Individual pillars. No build shit on top.
So we're back to blocks. You really don't want to do the paint by number. We're back to blocks.
Yeah, I block it. So this time.
Next time there's a art night, Ben's gonna show up with the box of blocks.
There's towers. That's what I'm for. Right, two. Yeah, no, the foundations.
Go rob the blocks and tiles from my tattoo room.
Okay.
You gonna make a mini Taj Mahal out here?
No.
It's like I'm gonna
Sounds like
build
a
a
lot.
giant one.
I think I should just start trying different art mediums. Just try a bunch of different shit till I find something that I'm like, okay, that makes sense to my brain. Like, I tried pottery, which I didn't hate. I wouldn't mind doing that again. But the last time I had to do it, I had a really bad headache and it kind of fucked me up. But I wouldn't mind trying that again. I just want to like try it. I want to do something. Not arting isn't cool.
I've always wanted to get 2 pottery wheels in a kiln.
Specifically two pottery wheels.
Group activities. Like it's a cool
Kilns
thing.
are
It's
expensive as motherfucker though.
they
Just
can
put them in the
be,
oven.
but they're also something where if you are clever enough and watch auctions and sales, a lot of times it's a hobby that people get into, and then the kiln sits around, and then like I bought a nice kiln for $75 once. Actually, we showed up to get it. The ad said 75. My buddy Clayton went with me because like we were going someplace random, and I was like, "Hey, you have a 45 and a truck. You want to take?"
You have a 45. That's a pistol and a truck.
So we go to this random place in the middle of nowhere to pick up this kiln. I'm like, this is going to be a scam. Like, no way is somebody selling a scut this size for $75. We get there, Clayton's like, you guys, we take 50 for it? And they're like, yeah, like thrilled to take 50 for it. So
Okay, so hear me out. I already got a inch and a half cast iron in my garage.
do you have 220 in your garage?
I will.
Because I could get said kiln.
I have a separate
It
box.
still exists. It's still just wired in the building where my old shop was, but all they do is park buses in it, and it's still there and fine, and I could get it anytime. But Clayton wired it directly into the building because it's safer and it's supposed to be more efficient on like your electric bill if it's actually wired in instead of plugged into the wall. So
I'd be willing to upgrade the 220
to have a nice big kiln.
Mhm.
What are you thinking?
Can we put it in my basement so we can like use the heat? Only pottery in the winter.
Well, the thing is, we could the kiln and the wheels don't need to be in the same proximity at all. The kiln should probably be in the garage and away from like your home and residential places.
In case of like fires or
Yeah.
something.
Like even if there's like a small explosion within
Thanks
the
for
kiln.
clarifying, Kyle.
But the
No,
wheel,
all right, no winning tonight. I'll shut up.
we could put the wheels downstairs though, for sure. That'd be easy. You got a mop sink down there?
I happen to know people that do plumbing.
It's a handy trait to have. Knowing people.
I do have extra water. Hosage,
Mm.
there's spigots.
Oh, yeah, you're 90% of the way to a mop sink. Boom. Get some PEX lines, drop that little sucker in there.
Yeah, plex. Switch.
For a mop sink?
Yes. Do it right. Yes.
You want to help me plumb in my tiny little sink in my basement the right way?
No, I don't know how to blow.
Well, so
There you
it's tricky. It's tricky because it's from like the late 1800s, so nothing is the standard sizes.
No, I don't want to
So
do
it's
any
got
of that.
special fittings, and I have it lined in with pecs. So
That's different because you're like, how do we make it work? I don't know, like fucking rubber bands.
I don't know. This was leaded into place when I bought it. Then it still had the original drain in it, and it had like the original copper pipes all attached to it. So my friend Kevin up in Michigan, who is a plumber and also likes weird old things and like doesn't mind taking the time with this, he took the time to ream out all of the old copper and then ream out the lead and then seal and modernize it with current fittings. Yes, current fittings. So it's pretty cool. It's a cast iron sink. Have you seen them
No,
where
I
they've
don't
got like
yet.
filigree and stuff on the
I
underneath?
carried it into where it is right now.
That's right.
I know exactly this.
Well, you know what it looked like before it was hooked up. Then you know exactly. So isn't it cool? It's weird how like something like that becomes a treasure. One of these days, I'm gonna have like a rad bathroom, and it's gonna be perfect.
Do you know what I'm getting ready to do? Purge.
If anybody needs an item and knows me, call me. If I own it and I'm getting rid of it, you can have it. There's a couch in the garage I'm trying to get rid of. I got all kinds of shit that needs to find motherfucking homes, or it's gonna go in the trash.
Are you talking about the big section that you moved out of the living
The
room?
one from Dusters.
Oh.
I just got all kinds of just shit that can all just go.
It feels nice to get rid of things like that sometimes.
Opening that bitch up.
What I need to do is just organize some of my stashes of things because I'll have like similar stashes where I could consolidate them into one organized stash when they're of the same variety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do I have 3 half full totes of the same thing when I could have one tote?
That's not how math works, but I hear you.
Well, I would take the useful things out and eliminate one altogether. In my brain, that's how it was working.
Yeah. Purge. I've just got a lot of old things, and you cling. I cling to stuff because it makes me. Oh, if I get rid of this, I'm never going to be able to replace it. I mean, I'm an adult and I make money. I don't need to have the same fucking sweatpants from 8th grade anymore, and I can get rid of the old jackets from '95. Kyle, why are you breaking shit?
He just noticed
I'm
the
checking
flicker
it.
on the screen.
Yeah.
Good
The
job,
thing's
Kyle.
like about to die. So
Good job,
I was
Kyle.
like trying to make sure it's okay.
Good job.
It is unusual that it's flickering.
It also says 0% on there. So
Hmm.
that's why I was taking a quick gander.
Look at him, Gander. Does it say it's charging?
Follow that cord all the way and make sure it's plugged in because there's a few white cords there. And one in particular is the one. Put it in the green port at the bottom. Sorry, guys, you don't want to hear about the technology demons. There we go. Hold on, I got us.
Camera's dead.
It's okay. Can they still hear us?
Yeah. Stop button. What? Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Tattoo Collecting 101. Every now and then, shit gets fucked up, but we bounce back, and here we are. So, before Kyle broke everything,
It's always Kyle.
It's always me.
yeah,
Well, hold on, because the camera's not going through now.
it's okay. It's all right. They can hear us.
That is true. So something's going on where when this is on, it kills that, and when that's on, it kills this.
Well,
So it's either camera or audio, according to what's going on.
A hot dog, hot
Diggity dog. Now we're good. Yeah. Yeah. Sound, video, music, all.
Welcome back.
This break has been brought to you by the
This
technology
brickety,
demons
brickety break.
making their appearance.
Speaking of break,
We're gonna take another one because
What
Kyle keeps
happened?
fucking breaking shit.
Is the camera not plugged in all the way? What could this be?
some kind of shenanigans are going on. But we are still having audio out.
When the
It's a special
whippoorwill
episode.
wibbles in the wind can wibble back.
Remember when we said it wasn't going to be chaotic?
Oh, nice.
And here we are.
It's only chaotic if you make it chaotic. If you just sit and chill and let everything run,
Okay.
because it's on. We got everything.
good
We
now.
got sound. We got lights.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's working now.
Yeah, we're good.
For now.
I see me. I don't want to see me, but I can see me.
It's there. It's
There's
there.
me.
It's there. It's everywhere.
There. It's there.
It was there.
We're back.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience.
Don't cut out my
everybody.
beatboxing. I feel like that was great
I-
quality entertainment.
Proceed.
Keep going.
I'll
Oh,
roll up
no.
another blunt.
No, it's
Proceed.
cool. I don't.
Beatbox it away.
I can't do
Come
it
on, come on.
command. So I'm smiling.
We got
it
it
fucks the
going.
whole thing up.
Take a drink of your coffee. Get serious. Get it together, man.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yell at me for a second.
You about made me choke on the applesauce of coffee that was in there.
No, that was an exquisite beatboxing. I hope people could hear more of it than they couldn't.
There was definitely some of it that went out, which is great. It was good.
Beautiful. I hope
It was
they
good
loved
stuff.
it. We'll save it for another time. You can't throw all your talents out there at once. The fans, I just couldn't imagine.
It'd be an overload.
My
It'd be
inbox, I would
overwhelming.
just have to turn it off.
Ben, you changed your Instagram name.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
No.
No. Wow.
It is now Benny T 101 Collective.
He is a tattoo collecting personality.
He's officially part of
I wouldn't say that.
But I would love it if you did.
Personality? We word it differently.
Well,
A
it's
person.
Yeah, do you want to be
Person-
influencer?
No. You know what I did though was delete all my personal shit off of it
why would you?
because fuck them. That's my shit. My Instagram already was like 38 pictures of my daughter and then like a 10-year gap. No, there was like a 4-year gap though. But like so it was really just like super personal stuff.
I have a whole extra Instagram for that. It's like my secret Instagram, but it's really not that secret. Like it's still my name.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I've got the same thing going on where I just post like once or twice a year.
I am just not that cool, guys. Like
I keep it for personal life updates, so I know what I've done.
Rip or like doing something that like
so
an everyday thing.
my distinction has become that Instagram is going to be for tattoo collecting stuff and the other platform is going to be for closer family friends.
Actual close interactions with people that you
Things-
really know
Yeah.
IRL, not internet fandom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You gotta plan ahead, Ben.
Gotta-
I'm
you gotta
already
think about
swerving
these things.
names,
Already swerving.
dodging them.
No, I feel like
I'm just kidding. Nobody talks to me.
once we get a few of our show ideas off the ground, once we get an ambulance,
Wham-dance.
you are gonna be a
Get a whole ass
personality.
ambulance.
People are gonna be like, I want to be friends with that guy. I could be friends with that guy, and I'll be like, back off.
Friend zone has been checked, bitch.
Go ahead. Hey, yell at the audience. It's okay.
I did.
Look,
Yeah.
look, hold
Yeah.
on. I wouldn't be like that. I'd be like, back off. Bloop.
Eat a banana.
Oh,
Fine.
man.
Mess with Ben, you get the potassium.
That was what I was screaming at my most road ragey moments. We're like, do you want to buy me a new van? You want to buy me a new van? I feel like that's a pretty grown up road rage, or the most childish road rage I've ever heard in my life.
I've got better insurance than you.
I didn't even cuss at him.
Do you know why I keep full insurance? Because I just might.
You know,
I just might,
as
My
he was
house.
like
Go
within
ahead.
inches of like trying to like, and like, what was he gonna do? Like, the closer he got to me, was he gonna push me out of the way? And like, he wasn't really gonna damage his car. Like, I just put a new tire on my van. I don't need another new
Come on,
tire.
we tried so hard. We moved on. You did not. I thought we released
we
the
got back
Look
to the
at
banana.
wow, what is this?
Oh, I'm
Did-
way better than I
Did you
was
just stay here
earlier.
at the Caesar?
Yeah, I'm way better than I was.
Come
Yeah.
on. You're bringing up past occurrences is retensioning all the work.
Thanks. I'm sitting here like a croissant.
It's not good. Buttery.
Sad. Like,
Can we order some food?
what kind of food you want?
I don't give a fuck. Just someone bring it.
Tacos?
Yep,
Dos hermanos?
done.
Chicken or barbacoa?
Yes.
Oh.
Um. You know,
We do a lot of tacos at the shop.
It's fast, and easy, and cheap.
Yeah.
It is,
Didn't
and
you
they're
have just
close.
tacos like yesterday, day before? It was yesterday. Yeah. No judgment though.
It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with the phrase skin pictures, Kyle. Is the text that I just got.
All right. Well, I stand corrected then.
You should.
I retract my statements.
Chicken or barbacoa, Ben?
One of each. Is that a thing? Can we do that?
I can do, well, there's 3.
Oh, the barbacoa.
Okay. Barbacoa. You want
Yeah.
barbacoa?
Sure.
So Dos Hermanos is my favorite taco place here in Columbus.
Shout out to Dos Hermanos.
They keep me fed and satiated.
Mm.
Their
they-
barbacoa is
Don't they
fantastic.
have like a Mexican street corn dish side?
I don't know. I don't think. I think that's one of the other taco trucks.
It's delicious.
But this place is fantastic. If you're in Columbus and you want a really good, fast, cheap lunch, this place is awesome. And on certain days, they have buy one, get one on their street tacos.
Mm,
Hot diggity.
mm.
Boom.
Now all I
do
can think
barbacoa.
about is taco.
Yeah, they're gonna be
The
here while we're still
They're
on
conversation
air.
coming now.
has
And you guys are gonna
lost.
be like, that's what I need.
Kyle, do you have any tattoos on the books? You got anything planned? You got anything scheduled?
I do. I'm scheduled with Jordan now,
Nice.
the end of October. So that is
Spooky.
officially in the books.
Is he doing a ghost tattoo?
whole dark bio side piece going on. Yeah.
Have fun.
My plan of attack is just don't think about it until the day comes.
That's often how I deal with everything in my life.
Yeah.
Ignore it until it is so much of a problem I can't. Yeah, it works well.
I put it off. One day it'll be
Therapy
here
is
and it'll be
cheap.
over just like that.
It'll be over just like that. The 6-month commitment you're making to tattooing your ribs. Over just like that.
I meant the day.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That
just
that statement I will.
session 2 I have not thought about, where it's just
The amount I have left on my ribs is so minuscule. I'm not necessarily like scared for it. It's just the reality is I know what it's going to feel like. Like, it wasn't that long ago that my armpits and the top part of my ribs were done. So like,
Right.
I think, I don't know. I've had so many long sessions that when I know it's only going to be like, let's say 4 hours on the long end,
Here's the
maybe
deal.
5. That's still not very long.
I know once I get the majority of my large areas filled, there's going to be lots of little gap time But in that, you're gonna be I'm gonna be looking at some of these things like this just needs a pass over.
Mm,
And I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of stuff redone. Not redone, but like another
freshened.
pass.
Yeah.
And I just my ribs being one of those. It's one of the oldest tattoos that I have. It's the third tattoo I have is my entire rib. And it healed
Maybe
nice.
we'll
It
just
looks
creep
great,
when the
but
time comes. We'll just creep up your leg and just connect.
I thought that was the goal anyway. That's why
Oh.
he went to Buffalo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Connect it
Like, I
all.
thought that was the plan. Fine.
Connect it all together. Well, I wasn't sure if you were bringing any more roses over or
No, I'm gonna try to keep this all inside of what the
Well-
frame was already there.
when the time comes.
Connect the dots. Fa la la la. Kyle, I'll give you a nickel if you can tell me where that's from.
No, sir.
If anybody's listening, you can tell me where that's from. I'll give you a nickel.
In reality, Kyle could do the same thing to us all the time and call us old, but he doesn't.
Probably
So thanks,
should.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks
No
for not reminding us that we are out of date with the modern times and we're stuck in the early 2000s.
Gabe texts in the group message, bacon wrapped asparagus. Sounds delicious. Yeah, Kyle. Quit being young.
Be
hey,
young,
I'm
Kyle.
working on
Be young. Enjoy
I'm
it.
just kidding. I'm just
It's not a
jealous.
race.
I'm just jealous.
it. I'm just trying to be stable. That's the goal.
I miss instability. Being an adult's stupid.
You're kind of splitting the bar, aren't you? Next,
Yeah, it's
next week
cool.
I'll trade you spots.
I got this.
You got the spot?
I'm
Okay.
floating.
You're doing great.
Thanks. Sitting's kind of my thing.
Hey, you look great too.
Oh, thanks, buddy. No, like being an adult stupid sometimes. Like understanding bank policy at this point, I'm like, why do I know this shit? And it's just dumb. It's dumb. I don't want to do it.
Navigating.
I'd like to revert.
Government paperwork.
I think
not
I'm just
fun.
gonna sell everything I have and then just ride on whatever that is and hope I'm dead before it runs out.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea, but I feel like you're going to be here a while.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think you're going to be around.
I mean,
I can't wait to see what crotchety Ben is like.
yeah. What do you think?
you mean he's not already? Ben's not already crotchety.
Bubblegum
Nice.
Ben. Ben. What's crotchety Ben going to be like?
I'll always have butterscotch candies. That's
You already do.
that's fair.
And you haven't been sharing.
My travel bag does have bags.
I got to
love
tell you what I
butterscotch.
got the other day.
What'd you get?
So we've talked about one of my favorite desserts before,
Mm-hmm.
Banana Fosters.
Yes. Mhm.
I actually got myself some like butterscotch schnapps and did it right
Mhm. Mhm.
instead of like making just a caramel sauce. It's like an actual butterscotch
Mhm.
sauce.
Yeah.
The best 2 batches of Banana Fosters I've ever made. Plus, I got myself a little
Do you know
bundle
what
of
I'm hearing?
bananas that
'Cause
were.
I got left out of Banana Fosters, and you didn't even
Well,
had a
hold
phone
on.
call.
I'm not there yet. So I got a little baby bundle
Yeah,
of
go on.
bananas that were like ripe. And then I got a regular bundle of regular bananas that are, well, we heard about bananas already.
They were ready to eat, weren't they, Fawn?
So anyways, if you want Banana Fosters, I'll make you some Banana
Oh,
Fosters.
motherfuck, yes.
I got Breyers, all natural with the little vanilla bean specks in it. It's the best texture ice cream for Banana Foster. You can use other vanillas. You can use French vanilla. You can use other brands or whatever. But my personal preference is Breyers all natural with vanilla bean.
Briars, please sponsor us.
That would be awesome.
Do you know what? So many things in my life revolve around ice cream that I'm not ashamed to admit it. There's always room for ice cream. It fills in the cracks. I don't care how full you are. There's room for a scoop.
At least one scoop. You
At
can
least.
fit. You can
You
always
might not
fit a
need a
scoop.
gallon.
Or like a soft serve.
Yeah.
It always. You can't walk past Jenny's at North Market and not get at least a sample.
Not all motorcycle rides end in ice cream, just only the good ones. Was a phrase commonly spoke around the home.
Last time I went to Jenny's when Todd was here,
Yeah. What do you get?
he didn't get any ice cream, but
What?
I did. They have this tart watermelon deliciousness. So
Wait, you-
good.
Wait. You let somebody leave without you didn't just buy him a fucking scoop and be like, dude, shut
Hold
up.
on. Before this, he got the lobster bisque and a roll. So he already like tucked all the space in with butter. from the seafood. So we didn't want him to get the itis, fall asleep while I was tattooing him, even though he did. Remember when he was complaining about the back team not working, and then like 6 minutes later he was snoring?
I missed that.
So,
I didn't know snore. I missed.
say it was a full-on snore, but you know how like sometimes there's little like no when somebody's asleep. Anyways,
I remember
that back team doesn't work for me.
I remember when
Sorry, Todd.
I was getting my back tattooed. I was just face down for hours, and somebody came in and was talking to Rich Cook, tattooed my back, and he's like, I think he's asleep. I'm like, I'm not asleep. I just can't breathe. He stopped tattooing. I got snot just dripping. Like, it wasn't horrid, don't get me wrong. Like, it was funny. It was real funny. He thought I was out cold. I'm like, nope.
No, feel every moment.
I just can't breathe. It's good times.
I mean, Rich isn't a little guy. I imagine he probably stretches with his body weight.
It's amazing though. It's like a continual hug.
Mm-hmm.
He also embraces with his iron. It's nice. I like the pressure.
Well, once we get closer to underneath that butt cheek, that's kind of what you got to do. It's like a wrist stretch.
You were like flirting with butt cheek and back of the knee, and the whole time, and I'm just like, I don't care which, but pick one. And you're like, nope, just getting close. Nope, just getting close. I'm like, yeah, never. No,
I'm sorry.
that was amazing.
I got a huge area laid out though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's laid out. There's a long way to go with that whole panel, but like, I feel like, you know how when you're in, you've got a huge daunting project, and it's like you chip away and you chip away and you chip away, and it doesn't necessarily seem like you're getting anywhere until like you like curve over this little like precipice where it's like, I'm getting somewhere. And then from there on, the momentum is finally, I feel like that's what happened with me on your project Monday, is like, that was really like, we rolled and made a lot of momentum. But also, I forget how much space I really covered on that outside panel before we got to the back.
I got big legs.
I mean,
That's exactly how my job is too. It's giant and complicated when you start jumping down the little baby steps and start unfolding it all and unfolding it all and putting the layers and putting layers. And by the time you're done, you're like, I did all that. It's dumb and tedious.
Yep.
That's why they pay you to show up, right?
It's why we make the big bucks.
Sure. Sure. All the big dollars.
Ben, you're my favorite.
I found out that a local distribution center is hiring non-labored employees at more money than I make currently. And it made me really just want to be like, I should just go work in a warehouse and not think. And just pick up boxes. And I don't know, maybe I might even step out and venture and gain a skill and become a forklift operator and require a higher paid salary. Which is more than that.
Well, you got to do what makes you happy, Ben. I feel like if you had a job where you didn't use your brain at all, or you used your brain minimally, you would probably not
invest
be
my
very
time
happy.
in mental my life instead of like
Maybe.
dumb shit.
Maybe.
Or hear me out. I sell everything I own and just ride that wave.
You want to live in an ambulance, Ben?
No, but I will. I got a pretty rad setup. I think I could ghost camp for a few years.
Just get a U-Haul and never return it.
You know,
they
Kyle,
come after you for that.
felonies are, not on the list of things I want to do right now. All U-Hauls attract.
Hold on. How long can you, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I'm sure somebody knows the answer.
6 years.
How long can you like have a rental vehicle and not return it before it's considered stolen?
I mean, I would
Are you
imagine they just
paying
charge
or
you.
not paying the bill? Because most of the time, in order to get a rental car, you have to put a credit card on file. So I would imagine it depends on the depth of your credit card. How much money you got on that motherfucker. And then I bet you it takes about 3 months after the credit card's racked out before they can actually stop making charges on it. Because most credit cards will put you in the negatives and they just won't tell you. And then, so yeah, I think it's policy determined.
I just wonder. I'm not planning on doing anything. Don't come after me.
Well, I
plan on-
happen to have, I'm on my 6th rental car.
Yeah, you're getting familiar with the
Process.
The whole process.
rental process.
You said they knew you by name, right?
Yeah. Oh, I had to get it's a different place this
Ah.
time because it's through the body shop and not through the insurance. But yes.
Hmm.
I've now been to the place that's repairing my car 2, 4, 6 times. I still don't have it.
3C Body Shop, the finest in collision repair
It just takes 2 months.
and orange peel.
Bro. So I went back and
That really is their jingle, by the way. I feel like I did a
Finest
pretty
in
good.
collision
I feel like
repair.
if only I would have like been like, hey, this is Jade Juniper here.
Push the pink button. They got the creepiest fucking slogan of all times. Sorry, no one cares about this with me. I'll stop.
If you're in Columbus, you get it. If you're not, we're sorry.
But yeah, I'm running on 2 months.
I can't believe they didn't just give you a courtesy vehicle.
They
Years
did.
ago, my roommate
Well,
had
it's
a
not theirs,
vehicle
it's a
repaired
rental.
there. And she had like it was what was it? It was like an Equinox or an Escape or something like that with it just said like 3C courtesy vehicle on it. And she had it the whole time they were working on her vehicle.
Do you know what's crazy is having to tell somebody that does what they do for a living? And he said, well, it looks good enough. And I said, buddy, you disqualified your own statement in the same sentence.
Mm-hmm. You acknowledged
my
that you
trust-
did not buff
my
out the
trust-
orange peel.
My trust level
Nice.
for you is pretty fucking low. You didn't even point out the mistakes. You didn't even fix the mistakes you pointed out. What? Anyway, so tattoos.
Tattoos.
What about them?
Oh, no, you want to get one?
Soon. We've talked about getting the one on my side finished, but I think next, like, I could get that done anytime. But my next big project is still going to be my belly with Mike Cole. At Hell City, I got to stand and watch him work. We talked a little bit while I was working, but man, it kind of makes me like cringe, but also like excited because once I check that off my list, my whole torso will be done. Which is absurd. Most collectors do not cover their torso first, and that's like the hardest part. Like it sounds crazy, but I'm looking.
Tattoo was my ribs. My second one was on my chest.
I am looking forward to having not my torso tattooed. I'm looking forward to having like I remember when Adam was working on my leg, or when Russ and Topi were working on the other side. Like it hurts, and like you hate life, but it's not like your core is being rocked. It's almost like you feel the pain, you know it's there, but there's not something inside of you that's like, you are going to die if you don't stop. That isn't there. That's like, oh, that's going to hurt tomorrow and the next day.
And I have to
and right now.
sit in chairs.
Mm-hmm.
My next tattoo is another leg tattoo. Corey's gonna do
The face you've been wanting?
sad clown.
Yep.
Should be good. Pretty pumped on it. Also, end of October-ish. Wait, we've got a tattoo before that, don't we?
Yeah, we've got another session. Mid-October. We need to move it. We can move it.
I stacked up October potential. Oh,
You
that's fine. It's just tattoos.
know what's up.
Yeah, been there before. I'll eat my Wheaties.
Eat your Wheaties. Eat your carbos.
I started recently taking a multivitamin.
I need to. I
Nice.
say I need to all the time, but
I'll get in the habit of taking it daily here soon.
It'll happen for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, it's been like a month. It's cool.
Okay,
Well, we're
good.
getting there.
Yeah,
We're trying.
You have the bottle, and that's what counts.
I've taken a significant number of them. Just not
Okay.
consecutive.
Nice.
Consistent.
That's good.
I still like getting buzzed on them. So if I take them all the time, I won't get that like B12 rush, you know?
as much Red Bull as you drink, you shouldn't get a B12 rush
What are
anymore.
you talking about? I don't even drink that much.
As you're scratching. Nice.
So what was in the cooler you forgot to bring today?
Liquid beverage refreshments.
Oh, okay, great. We're good then. Yeah, go ahead.
Red Bull sponsored my life.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And diarrhea after 4.
What?
After 4. Okay.
How do we have bathroom talk again? How did this happen?
I didn't mean to, Fawn. I'm
How
sorry.
did it happen?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
It's all your fault,
It
man.
was a joke, not a whole topic. I kind of cut back on the energy drinks a bunch. I try just to keep it to like 1.
Sometimes I grab 2 Red Bulls. Most of the time I grab 2 Red Bulls when I leave
That's
my
because
house.
the
But they're the
fuckers at
little ones.
Gas station sell them for, they're cheaper if you buy 2 type of thing.
I try to just get the big pack at Kroger.
You're telling me.
Our tacos are coming around the corner.
Do you
They'll be
know,
coming around the
Diggity.
corner,
Kyle,
coming around the bend.
Ben,
will you get our tacos for us?
what?
Will you get our tacos for us?
Sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
Costco. I'm really starting to love them.
You got a moment yet?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom too.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, take your time then. We'll keep the ship afloat without you, Kyle.
I think. As long as he doesn't touch anything and break something on his way out.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Kyle.
How mad would you be if his chi ball was disrupted our
Just
set?
chi ball. I mean, there's some kind of chi going on.
Chi
I
ball.
don't know what was going on earlier with things not
It's all right.
charging, but sorry guys. We're still here. I got some apple juice. Makes everything better.
A little bit of sugar.
Ah, Yep.
Natural fructose.
just hits the spot sometimes.
Keep the applesauces in the shooter pouches. Every now and then, just gotta let one rip. My daughter looks at me like, back off.
I feel like I'm the same way with Gogurt.
I can't keep Gogurt in the house. They're one bite. You just,
And then if you put them in the freezer, get them just a little bit slushy.
okay, so hear me out. Do you know that all Little Debbie's belong in the freezer?
We've had this conversation, but not on air.
Okay. All Little Debbie's belong in the freezer. They're amazing.
The
Frozen.
cream turns to ice cream. The chocolate becomes like crispy and delectable.
It's so cheap it almost turns to wax, but that's exactly what you want.
You want it
It's
to coat the
frozen.
roof of your mouth. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Nutty bars are perfection.
Now, do you bite into them or do you peel them apart layer by layer?
I am a savage. I
You're like, I don't even open the package.
I
I
break
just-
open the package and then I bite in the middle of both bars and work my way through both bars because I don't want to touch chocolate. And if you take one out, the package becomes null and void. So you hold the package all the way down, go down through the center. I eat Kit Kats the same way, and I get ridiculed for it.
I won't ridicule you.
Yes,
I didn't. So first of all, I would not ridicule you for that. I might be like, really, Ben? All right, whatever. Not ridicule.
for sure.
But you just let me in on an interesting trait.
Hmm?
I didn't realize how little you liked chocolate on your fingers.
Most of the time when I'm snacking, I'm on the go. I don't mind if I've got a moment to clean them. But yeah, things on my hands bug me. Yeah.
But they're covered in tatties.
But not chocolate sauce
Should
or rings or sticky or
we smoke another
food,
blunt?
or how about we eat
They're here.
and then we smoke a blunt?
It's 20 after. What if we smoke a blunt, wrap up the show, and then jump into the tacos? But we could at least show the tacos off. That way we're not all like, well, I didn't mean
Tacos.
like that.
Tacos, they smell fucking great.
And so
But you're gonna be good now.
they will be, but they'll also be good in like 12 minutes.
Be patient.
All right, tattoo collecting fans, you are extremely special this evening because I am postponing my hunger and love of tacos for you.
Oh, the
This is-
sacrifices we
This is
make.
what we call sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
I'm going to be the martyr. That's not a martyr. What's a martyr? I'm not dying for a cause.
You're sacrificing.
Sure.
Close enough. I'd consider it close enough.
Should we
for
do?
a martyr.
We haven't done one of these tonight, have we? Or did we?
Oh, gotcha. No, I don't think we have. But can I roll it if we did?
You don't like the way I roll them?
No, it's
Too tight?
Oh, is it okay? Right.
That's absolutely fine. I just don't know what to do with my hands now.
Wrap another one for the post tacos.
For the post tacos.
Yeah.
2 times the rolling action.
Oh, now I feel like I need to roll one.
Yeah, you don't, Kyle. Just sit there.
Kyle, do I need to teach you how to roll?
I used to know how to roll.
Yeah, how do you forget?
You don't do it for 2.5 years. You stop smoking for a bit.
What kind of world are you living in that was a good decision?
One where I wasn't happy.
Very
Yeah, I mean, yes, to not get too personal about it. Yes.
No. I'm happy that you're back in a place where you're smoking.
Hold on a
That's
second.
sad and lonely.
There's
Thank
this
you.
thing that's been happening
you.
with Kyle lately.
What's
He's
that?
been wearing colors.
What?
I mean, today he's in gray and
It
black,
does-
but
it
he's
does
been
happen.
wearing colors.
He has white on his shirt. It's kind of a color for Kyle.
It's not black. It's like
It's
a
not black
bluish
on black.
grayish. We call that
that's-
charcoal.
That would be me experimenting with different colored shirts and sweatshirts, and then not updating my wardrobe. So as the old stuff gets phased out, that becomes the new.
Well, I'm just saying, it's kind of nice to see it in colors.
Good job, Kyle. Way to look like a person.
You know what? Hey, I'm trying.
Look,
Okay.
sometimes I don't know if you've ever noticed this about Kyle, but like sometimes he wears a specific color of shirt and like his eyeballs look like they are glowing with the most brilliant icy blue.
I think I just have to play to my strengths a bit. And apparently get a different hairstyle.
Why? What's wrong with the hairstyle?
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but like I was cleaning Jordan's room earlier this morning and Adam walks by. He's like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you were Jordan."
But
Adam,
still, what's
Adam
up,
who
dude?
also has the exact same hairstyle.
But it's not half blonde.
Sure, it has been at some point.
It's fair.
I
Well,
don't
it
know. I
used to
feel
be
like when I
like
met
blue
you, it
and
was
purple.
gray or green. I mean, green. Was
It-
it blue then green?
It was like originally purple, and then it went bluish, and then
So you're
I
telling
just
me
went-
that
I
this
just didn't
started
dye
out
it.
as purple?
it did. Yes, it was a nice purple. I don't have pictures of it.
You could just put purple over it again and it'd be a beautiful like brown to purple ombre that like people pay a lot of money for.
I paid a lot of money to originally have it done. And then I was like, yeah, I can do it myself after that. And it was not.
So
the
now
same.
Kyle's gonna walk into some Columbus shop and be like, mermaid hair?
I've thought about bringing some color back into it.
I let that happen.
Kyle, do you want me to color your hair for you?
We can do it. Sure. I'll get the dye.
I won't dread it unless you ask.
I feel like I need a little more length if I'm going to dread it.
It's pretty long. You wouldn't end up with short little wicks. I wouldn't let you look like that.
Like an island boy.
All right.
Trying
Motherfucking
to make it.
island boy. I don't even know.
You know, we were talking about like TikTok algorithms and things like that. And I don't like they were all I saw there for a minute. And like at the same time, I couldn't stop watching. I was so amazed. Like, first of all, let's talk about their tattoos. And then let's talk about their hair and the way they like deliberately leave the white chalk line around that. Like, isn't that for like barbers that don't know how to cut hair? Like, isn't that supposed to be wiped away when it's gone? Or am I misunderstanding style?
On. I am the furthest thing away.
Do you want me to
style
pull them up?
that
Pull 'em up,
exists.
Kyle.
The
What?
furthest thing away from style.
Here, how
that
is this a good one to pull up?
That's
Sure.
a fantastic
Okay.
one to pull up.
Let's pull it up.
These are two twin brothers
I'm
from
like
Florida.
half
These are Florida men.
lumberjack.
That just explained it all.
The Island Boys, Florida men. Look at that.
Yeah, they're called the
tattoos.
Island Boys, and they live on.
But look at that chalk line though. Like, is that supposed? It's not supposed to be there, right? And like, it's
I
not
don't-
even straight. Like the line is
don't-
there, but the line isn't even straight.
So bad.
I've never even taken the time to look at their tattoos, but
I'm so
Okay.
fascinated. Like, I look at hold on, look at his chest. It says "Rest in peace, Frank Jr." That's their dad. I jumped down the rabbit hole far enough to know that this is their dad.
Oh, that says Frank.
What? Yeah, it's mirrored. It's mirrored. I don't know what that one says, but and he's got a Chucky tattoo. You can see his forehead. But like, let's just delve into that. Like, they're always like flossing and showing off their diamonds and showing
But you
off
got a
with their
bunch of
little
shitbag
readers that they're
tattoos.
real. They're talking about their Gucci's real, their Supreme is real. Da da da.
But my tatty's shit, dog.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like if you had all this money to be throwing around like that, why would you
My
look
favorite thing
like
is
this?
now they're trying to be fighters. Their fight videos are my favorite fucking things in the world.
That seems to be the typical internet influencer path.
Well,
Ghost
except they're
fighters.
So you
trash.
keyboard
And
warrior first.
I would fight both of
then
them at the
beef
same time.
videos second, and then boxing. Is that how it goes? Or like real fight,
in
real
recent
fighter?
recent times, yeah, it seems to be boxing.
I would fight.
Who are
both
they
of them
fighting
at the
with?
same time.
Some professional people,
And I hear they
most
have
likely, but usually each other.
they have followers, like these guys that follow them around. When I stopped paying attention to them, they had two, but there was a third guy that was kind of like they didn't call him their intern, but that was kind of like him. Poor guy. He wants to be an island boy. So they had that guy.
I can't believe we spent 5 minutes on this.
I mean, did you see those space caddies?
I did.
Did you see that blood
lettering?
splatter and how faded it looked?
The other one was green.
They recently got their belly done. The one twin with the darker hair, and it's like all colorful, but like shouldn't be.
Can we?
Do you want an eagle on your forehead
But like
too?
a real one.
But real.
Like photorealistic. But like this big.
It's got to be like flying out at you.
I think that sounds like
Balls out.
Yeah,
sounds like a
yeah.
great idea, Ben.
Can we do that?
Yeah, it's gonna look like a cover up, even though it's not.
Those are my favorite tattoos.
Is it a cover up? No.
No.
What made you think that?
Send.
I just went straight for it.
I kind of want to find room for the Paddle and Peggy tattoo.
Oh, where would you put it?
I don't know. So I said find room.
Find room, find armpit,
Find it.
No. The armpits have plans.
side of the neck.
Need it.
No. I'm pretty no. I don't know. Let's see. We tried to pull it up last week, but the Instagram gods frowned upon us from pulling up the box.
Well, lame technology demons. They get us sometimes. I can't believe we had a whole glitch out there. We always have something, but we get through it. We keep it cool.
Yeah.
Keep on rolling.
Just beatbox a little.
Mm-hmm.
Be better in a couple minutes. And you'll be out of air.
Well, we have anything cool going on next week and this upcoming week?
Nah, really.
I'm working on my brother this weekend. I'm pretty excited about that.
I got a bunch of personal shit going on. My meal got planned based solely upon dinner or solely on dessert. Restaurant picked by creme brulee reviews. I'm pretty pumped.
Okay. Okay.
Creme.
You know, I'm
Brulee.
a sucker for creme brulee.
It's second to banana Fosters, but I want flambe Fosters, and you can't light it on fire in restaurants anymore. So like, just don't do it. So
Lame. Lame.
it is super fucking lame. But yeah, I would like. I'm very excited. That's tomorrow.
I'm excited for you.
Anyway.
So my older brother, he is incredibly intelligent and incredibly creative. And he's wanted to get a tattoo for both of his boys for years. And it's one of those, like, of course I'm going to do it whenever you like decide what you want and where you want it. Of course I'll do it for him. So a few months ago, he's like, Fawners, I just want clocks for both of them. And I was like, you really just want clocks for both of the boys? He's like, yeah, like maybe do something like old fashioned for Malachi and maybe something like modern and digital for Ethan, but like, yeah, like just clocks. Like I want to do clocks with their birthdays. I'm like, this is really what you want to do? He's like, yep. He's like, I know everybody gets them. He's like, but I like them. Like, I don't care that everybody gets them. I don't care that everybody has them. All right. What if we did 2 exploded clocks?
Come on.
So what we're doing on my older brother is we have on the low half. Have you seen the clocks that they have like the Edison bulb, and then on the inside they've got the numbers and they flash back and forth. So we basically put one of my nephew's birthdays on the lower arm and made it look like it was like part of a robotic sleeve, and it's like casting an orange glow, and then there's like circuit board on the pieces of armor around it. So it's like
Love
kind
it.
of robotic, kind of old fashioned, but like
Love it.
digital, 100% digital. And then those robotic pieces kind of morph into like these architectural shapes that lead up to like the face of a cuckoo clock with gears and stuff in the face that are like forming, you know, the spiral that we see all the time. So I took this super basic, like I just want 2 clocks. I want a whole sleeve of 2 clocks and turned them into like
This
an
is gonna be cute.
architectural cuckoo clock with a robotic bio lower. So it's like an everyday idea that we have taken so far left field that I don't think anybody else has like 2 clocks that are like a huge bio sleeve like this. And then if you know my nephews, it just kind of fits both of their personalities really well. Also, like Malachi's super like he's into like steampunk and gothic stuff right now,
His
but
name is
very
Malachi.
classy. Yeah.
He was destined to be into the old world.
Well, so his name is actually Malachi acts as Xavier Baker. So like his initials are MAX. So he could go, he has so many different names he could go by, but like usually like Malach is what he answers to the quickest. Yeah, but he's like a little Cary Grant. Like, he's way too old for his britches and it's fine. And then Ethan's
Call him a Cary Grant.
mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. Like that kind of old school, like classy, tasteful steampunk and gothic and Victorian Baroque, whatever. Like he's into it. And then the other one's just a robot nerd. He's into robotics and programming and nerdiness and VR. I don't know. It's all over my head. It starts becoming words I can't understand.
VR makes me puke. Can't do it.
But it's kind of cool just to take that everyday idea and turn it into something that nobody else would ever think of, but also like it's so like extra and it's totally transforming my brother. Like his whole, you know what it's like when you get one arm sleeved and it's starting to be filled in and you feel like when you see pictures of yourself, it's like, oh, I look different. I'm one of them.
I'm one of them now. See, now that's how I look at my blank skin. I'm like, blank skin. Oh, blank skin.
Whatever am I going to do with
thou
you?
blank skin?
Because thou hasn't labeled me a color yet.
So many tattoo ideas. So
No. It's always next week.
yep. Easy.
Start wrapping this thing up and jump into our tacos.
Before they get
There is never a better plan than to
It's
wrap
kind
it
of
up.
It's
and
kind of been
throw
a
it into its
nonsense episode, but I have enjoyed myself. I hope people listening have enjoyed a little bit of the tattoo talk sprinkled in there.
There was some tattoos.
There was some tattoo talk.
there was a good tattoo talk.
Yeah, we showed pictures of tattoos.
We did. Yeah. We could have showed more.
We did good.
But we were talking.
It's okay. It's all right. Next week we'll be here. Same
Talking
time,
about
same
tattoos.
place.
Yeah.
I've got a few people that I'm talking to, some really cool guests that I'm working on lining up that we're just kind of coordinating like travel dates and or beaming in with us dates. So next week should be another fun episode.
Every week is a fun episode.
Well, yeah, like this.
Have we ever had an episode where you're like, man, that was just not cool?
Well, I don't think so.
All right.
We usually have a pretty good time.
Kind of rousing.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Good
Well,
night.
All right. Thanks
see you
for
next
joining.
week.